Hello, everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have the Skyward Sword Randomizer Remlits race. This is Group Faron between Mirage and Flash. Here tracking today, we have Baseball and Tomaltalk, and commentating along with me is Mario Runner. How are you doing, Mario?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, so this is our, I think, the third race from this Group Faron.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it.
Sure. Hang on, wait. Let me check. I'm curious. Yep. Seems to be.
Yeah. So this is
the third race played, and Flash has actually played in all three of those races. Which is pretty interesting.
Definitely Flash is definitely scheduling them all pretty early. And we're going to get this race underway. So kind of talk about the runners. Flash, if you're in the OTR Scrubs tournament, he's one of the organizers for the Scrubs tournament. Mirage has been in the Skyward Sword community for a while, played in at least season 2, did not make it to the brackets then, and then took a pretty long break and came back just for Remlits. So definitely Mirage has a little bit of an experience edge, but is a little rusty. And we're getting the race underway, so let's see what we've got. Any guess on dungeons?
We'll go with ACFS. That's one of my favorite dungeon combos.
And I apologize for the typing noises.
Immediately proven wrong. Both linear dungeons.
Floria to Tenalis. Eldin to Molderock. Got Beetle's Shop, Caves, and Skydead. Those are interesting.
Force in both dungeons.
Yeah, that'll help a little bit for go mode.
Fledge junk. Ooh, Bree has a bow. Wait, that's actually not useful.
Yeah, because you have to have a bow.
Yeah, you gotta have a bow to get that.
So that is junk. So all of our sometimes and always hints, I think, are junk in this seed.
Yeah, I think so.
We saw Fledge, Shack, Zelda's Blessing, Rig's Reward. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we might be getting double game audio.
Yeah, I was getting that as well.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'm gonna see. So Flash doesn't have clean audio, so we might just have to bear with it. Unfortunately, Flash is talking on his mic during stream, so I don't know. And I don't know if he has chat up or would see a message. But yeah, I'm aware we're getting the doubled audio. I will turn it down a little bit. So we're seeing both runners with a kind of conventional start here, getting their checks on Skyloft. I feel like with the Eldin Volcano to Molderock, we will probably also see a very conventional double Eldin start.
Might be, yeah.
The double audio might be coming from you, Mario.
Are you sure?
Maybe not. I don't know. No, it's not from you. Sorry. Yeah,
Alright,
so
Mirage skipping Central, heading straight for Eldon.
I don't hate that play.
There's definitely a big debate, I guess. Like, it's kind of different runners enjoy either heading straight for Eldon or doing Central Skyloft. I'm personally a Central Skyloft enjoyer, but I think going Eldon first can definitely pay off. There's definitely been a lot of times where it's been very worth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very firmly of the opinion. Like, I almost always go Central Skyloft first because there are 6 checks you can get pretty quickly that are not locked behind anything, and if they lock something in Eldon, like climbing Eldon, you avoid having to go back. So that's
And it looks like
my philosophy behind it. But
yeah, and it looks like we'll be seeing Flash grab those.
yeah,
So far there hasn't really been, I don't think, any items of note. So Sphere Zero is not being as generous as it usually is in Remlits.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, there's still 4 more checks for Flash, but
All right,
we'll have to see.
getting some stuff here. The bow immediately. So that.
The first meeting after the meeting.
Yeah, that bow is probably not the path item. Although, kind of depends on what else it is. Like, if there's a lot locked behind climbing up Eldon, there's a world where that actually is required logically to climb and basically unlock the entire seed. So, love to keep an eye out. Like, usually past Moldarok, you assume it's Gust Bellows, maybe a beetle, maybe bomb bag. Yeah, and this is looking like a totally barren Skyloft. There has been absolutely nothing on any of the kind of Sphere Zero checks here on Skyloft, which is surprising. Usually there's something.
Yeah, definitely making Eldon first seem more like the optimal choice for this seed.
Yeah. Yeah, we see Mirage trying to blow up this Pyre-Up. If you do some kind of precise running and roll the bombs fast, you can get past that Pyre-Up and roll it, but otherwise you will get sniped pretty hard. Those things are kind of notorious for just spewing out fire and blowing you up. This is really interesting, though, because usually in Remlits you expect a couple items in your, Skyloft or early Eldon, and
Empty bottle, alright. That doesn't do a whole lot, though, considering that Sky is barren and Fledge is not required either. I suppose.
Really.
Wait, could this be stamina push in logic into Laneru? Because that would be really exciting.
I am starting to be very suspicious of that. Because in Faron, there's really only, 4 checks you can get?
You can get the Sealed Grounds, chest, and then
I think just 2 checks.
Heart piece on tree, and then the heart piece on the tree root.
Yeah.
And Deep Woods, I think you can get Deep Woods.
There's 4 checks they can get.
You can with bow. Never mind.
Yeah. And that is Mitzlocked. That chest that's dousing.
Block check immediately.
Yeah. So, for those of you who've not seen Skyward Sword, other randomizers have chest appearance or chest texture matches content. What we have in Skyward Sword is chest dousing. Dousing is this built-in mechanic in the game where your sword will detect items and show you where they are. And so we use that to identify kind of where your progress items. It's only chests, so there's a lot of items that are not chests that do not douse.
Water scale. Okay, wait, that might change the.
Now you're going to go to Faron.
Yeah. Unfortunately, stamina potion logic might not be required.
Hey, don't get too far ahead of yourself. I'm a fan of the stamina potion logic. Like, I would obviously getting this scale, you're gonna go to Faron because you can get 7 of the 8 checks in Lake Floria.
Yeah, everything except the last rupee that needs beetle.
Yeah. We're gonna see Mirage, I think, clear out Central Skyloft now.
Yeah, skipping the rupee outside of Ancient Cistern is definitely a rough check to Orphan when you don't have Ancient Cistern enabled, because it's quite out of the way from most other stuff. So
there is at least a statue that'll take you right there.
Yeah, there is a statue, but then you have to walk out of Floria Waterfall, and there's the annoying Bokoblin cutscene there if you didn't clear it already. So,
yeah, that is fair.
Not the most convenient place. In general, I try to delay Faron until I have a beetle, but that's just me.
Oh no, I agree with you.
I've tried to pick some of those overworld rupees without a beetle before, and then it's not gone well for me.
Yeah, I had a seed where I thought my water dragon scale was a blue rupee, and so I hit 0 locations and could not finish the seed. And then an hour after I finished it, I was knew exactly what I had missed. Ooh. It's unfortunate for Mirage.
I did a similar thing where I thought the red part of the whip's string was an evil crystal, and if I had seen it from any other angle, I would have been able to tell it was the whip. But I just was oh, okay, evil crystal, and then came back after having 0 checks for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we saw Mirage went for this trick called Reverse Waterfall Cave, where if you kind of skydive precisely, you can get into the waterfall cave backwards. And so if there's nothing there, you can douse from the bottom and skip a little bit. It's not... Basically, if either of the chests ping up top, you don't really end up saving time. It's one of those tricks that I don't do a lot, personally, but you'll see a lot of runners do it.
Yeah, it's basically... there's a check you can't douse at the bottom because it's not a chest, so it gets you to there much quicker than if you go through normally. But if anything, if either of the chests have something, you basically have to climb up through the waterfall cave, so all of that time save is kind of negated. Yeah,
it's also this is my... I'm revealing all of my tricks for Mario before I play him in a week and a half. I also tend to just want money early on in a seed, so I'll pick up chests that don't ping. But with Beetle dead, there's really not much of a need for money this seed.
Yeah, especially without Fledge too. He's the main other source of money.
Yeah. Yeah, we see how Flash doing... Because Flash had a bow, this is something Mirage did not do. you can actually snipe all of the bokoblins there with your bow. And so you don't have to fight them with your sword. Because the bow in Skyward Sword is the most powerful weapon until you get True Master Sword. And even then, like a charged bow shot, I think, is more powerful.
Yeah, I think with the fully upgraded bow does the same damage as both hits of a True Master Sword spin attack, and a charged regular bow shot does the same damage as one of those.
Yeah.
But I think where the bow is most useful in the Digging Mitts fight is there's a bokoblin up on that like wooden platform in the corner, and he can be pretty annoying to aggro because you have to climb all the way up to him before he'll start chasing you. But with the bow, you can just shoot him right away, and that saves a lot of time.
So good news for Mirage. The bomb lock chest here in Faron doesn't have anything either. Looks like a red rupee on the tree. If you knock down that vine, you can actually peek the item on the tree in the background.
It can sometimes be difficult to tell, though, especially with small items.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is that another?
I think that's an extra wallet.
Yeah, for a second I thought it might be a bottle, but it's not. That looks like nothing on top of the tree.
I don't even want a chance trying it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm okay. I'm starting to wonder if there's some weird stamina potion logic now.
We've still got all of Floria.
That is true. So Mirage is doing this trick called Fence Hop with a somewhat lenient jump slash. You can hop on top of the fence and go out of bounds. I think he's aiming a little too low.
There we go. Yeah. Fun fact about this trick is that it was found like the day this game came out, and they didn't fix it when they made the HD remake. They like inadvertently fixed a different way to get to Lake Floria early, but didn't fix this one for some reason.
It was found that early. So it was the first speedrun trick that was ever found in the game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So Mirage is doing reverse Lake Floria.
And right there we saw from Flash, the sky is like truly dead because Pero's got 2 checks that are locked behind talking to Oriel in the sky, and they're not considered to be in the sky region, but those 2 checks did not have anything of use, so you like don't even need to do anything in the sky, even though the hint would only tell you to not do the non-Oriel related things.
Dang. Someone better tell Pix. If he's here, he's heartbroken. So Lake Floria to Tantalus. I wonder if this is going to be like Cave's Key.
Either that or Claw Shots. Claw
Yeah.
Shots could very well be it.
See, I'm still believing in the bottle logic for Elden to Moldarok, so which is really cruel of me to believe in that for these runners.
A beetle. Alright. Little unfortunate to get it now doing reverse Floria because going from back to front you pass the rupee that requires the beetle right at the start.
Yeah. And also there's a few other beetle lock checks you could get in Faron. And here you just go to the bottom of this rock and surprise, it has no collision.
Yeah. For a while, we actually thought you couldn't do Lake Floria in reverse when there's some rupee sanity checks in this area that were added. People thought it meant you had to do Floria from the front because of that boulder, but you can just go under it.
Yeah. I will say There is also a healthy debate about whether it's better to do Floria backwards or forwards. I won't get into it now.
Gust bellows, interesting.
That is path to Tenelith
Yeah,
in
that has.
Floria.
Yeah, unless there's something else under that rock, under the central rock,
Or
that
something on the rupee at the front.
could suggest that something. Oh yeah, that's true. Actually,
Huh. This is interesting.
and yeah, this rock is notoriously difficult to break. I'm
this is
personally a fan of doing Floria from the front just because it makes breaking this rock easier.
you and I are in full agreement there. Because that Froak spawns basically right in front of that boulder when you come in from the front. It's a lot trickier to get to it from doing it reverse. So you see, if you don't hit the Froak at the right angle, it will go right over the boulder. There are some people who have figured out a trick to kind of more consistently get it to hit that like little peak. But
there we go.
it's tricky.
Yeah, so it seems like unless there's something on top of the on the rupee next to Ancient Cistern, that bellows is the likely path.
Now I'm starting to wonder if our claw shots are going to be in LMF.
Either that or Cave Ski is still a possibility.
Yeah. There is still one other item in Lake Floria, but if it is Bellows Path and there's claw shots in the back of LMF, that could make some sense.
Mm-hmm. Boss key on combination lock.
I don't think that could be in logic because
we already have
you have
bow counts as logical for that.
yeah.
The only relevant thing that the bellows logic there is specifically if your first and only accessible bow is on there. Because if you have the bow, you can transition the sand ship to the past, and that removes the sand just as effectively as if you use the gust bellows.
Yeah. So if you could have your first logical bow locked in that chest, theoretically, and logic would assume that you need the bellows to clear the sand.
The sand stays no matter what time it is. You can't get rid of it.
We might be looking at a kind of gross logic seed pack.
It has potential to start being nicer, but the opening's been pretty linear.
Yeah.
Empty bottle.
I think we're going to see Mirage break slide through mines to get into Lineru.
Yeah. Which has the... Actually, wait. This... Unless there's something on the Floria rupee.
Yeah.
That would mean that stamina potion logic is a thing, I think.
Yeah.
Even though our runners may circumvent it using the break slide.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find whether it's digging mitts, bomb bag, or hook beetle. We're gonna have to find one of those three pretty soon, because we're about to hit our last logical locations pretty quickly. Yeah, Froppy makes a good point that the top of Great Tree is accessible and the inside. It is not the way anyone ever wants to do it. I probably, if I were in Flash's shoes or Mirage's, would have checked it, because the game has some sick humor of putting claw shots on top of the Great Tree.
Yeah, you always want to head there with the claw shots because you can just climb up the outside in like 15 seconds instead of doing the like dev-intended method of climbing with the gust bellows and water dragon scale, because you're not supposed to have claw shots at that point in the game.
Yeah.
If you were, that you probably wouldn't be able to climb the Great Tree. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, if you were meant to have claw shots, there's no way that would work. You'd have to do it the slow way every time.
Yeah. I've seen too many seeds where claw shots are in one of those 3 checks on top of the Great Tree to at least be a little suspicious. So I'm curious to see if Flash is going to go check those and check Deepwood's chest as well, or if he's just going to head to Desert. I suspect, though, that Flash is going to check the rest of Faron. And yes, Froppy, I 100% agree with you, which is why in this situation I would check that.
All right, time to see if there's another potential path.
Yeah, I think it would be a really good idea for Mirage to at least check. So there's one chest in LMF. Is that no pings in Desert?
There's one on top of LMF there.
Okay. Not a lot else. And there's really... You might want to go and get the statue by Fire Node and look inside Lightning Node so you see what you need to get later. But...
Oh wait, Bellows is path to Sandship too. So that could mean that Bellows is path because of claw shots on top of the Great Tree. That could like be directly what this hint is implying. Which,
or it could mean...
It could mean something in LMF too, but...
Yeah. Okay, Flash is going back. Just warping through the sky, which is... I don't know if it's faster or slower. For where he's going, it's pretty close.
It's, I think if you can walk there in, like, 30 or so seconds, it's slower, but I don't remember exactly. So, Mirage finding the ballad.
Yeah, that is... So there is one other check that Mirage can get here in Desert, which is in the Fire Node. So he's going over there to check it. There's also 4 other chests in there that you can douse. So even though you can't get them, you do get a lot of good information.
And immediately there's a statue right next to the place, so you can come back quickly if you need stuff.
Yeah, it's why going into Lanayru without items is less bad than a lot of other areas, because there is exactly one check in the region that is not a chest. That looks like it is one of the bomb lock chests, and that's it. So even though you can't get a lot in Lanayru right now, with dousing you get a ton of information, which honestly makes going here with stamina potion logic not that bad.
Ooh, and a raid from Pippi. Hi, Pippi.
Yes, Pippi was playing Remlits Seed 69. It was quite a meme seed. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, as you'd expect.
I appreciate Flash doing this. It's awful. Like, this is by far the worst feeling play you're going to do. But also, if there's something in one of these 3 checks, you're going to feel mega rewarded.
If there's something up here, that's a huge win for Flash right now.
Yeah.
Because Mirage didn't do Great Tree when he was in Faron before, and probably doesn't want to have to come back.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Flash is we're seeing, like, this is not the easiest thing to do. The jumps and the bellows are somewhat precise. It's horrible. It's one of those things when you played the vanilla game, you were like, I hate this.
Yeah, it's kind of janky because if you try to like run right as you're getting to the edge, it'll start swinging backwards just as you jump off the platform, and then you'll get like dragged back.
Oh. There is something on the one chest in LMF that Mirage can get to. If this is Hook Beetle, then Mirage might be able to full clear the dungeon.
Unless not if they don't find bomb bag, because
Oh, that's
bomb
true.
bag for the boss key chest.
Well, we don't know what's on that, but that's fair. Yeah. Boss key. If boss key chest has nothing, then you can clear the dungeon without bombs.
Yeah. Just gratitude crystals.
That is now very interesting. Because I'm trying to figure out why that bow or bottle could be path. And I am now starting to get maybe mildly suspicious that we got the rare gratitude crystal seed.
It's also possible that bomb bag ends up being required and is like boss key is vanilla or something, or it's locked behind small key, which is on the boss key chest, and then you need bomb bag.
There we go. Yeah, Flash did not gauge the chest inside the great tree, but if I were in Flash's shoes, I would, if it has something and you're doing this with scale, I would go through, get the 2 checks on top of the great tree, and then go back in and swim out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that. I don't do that.
It's only if you have
always
scale.
grab the chest first, which is pretty silly.
Yeah, the chest inside the grape tree used to be one of my least favorite checks in the game because I just am bad at the jump. But it looks like that chest has nothing. So, nice thing is, this Moblin, you can just run past him.
Sometimes he'll be weird and his shield will push you off the ledge.
That's true. But you can also...
Most of the time he'll let you by.
You can also climb up the shield and run past him.
Yeah. Alright, what's that? Elden Ore? No, it's the claw shots!
Oh!
No way! That's a huge find for Flash.
Yeah.
Say hi to Yerbil.
That is kind of, as I said, when you have bellows and scale early, claw shots on top of the great tree. This is confirmation bias, but it is more common than you think.
Yeah, that's definitely the path. So Bellows is path because of these claw shots for Sandship. Basically, without a doubt. And that's gonna be a huge thing that puts Flash ahead, because it may be a while before Mirage wants to head back to Faron.
Yeah, and that is gonna open up.
Did we see Mirage check Deep Woods, actually?
No, Mirage did not check Deep Woods, did not check top of Great Tree.
Alright.
So I think Flash might be muting his mic for us. Uh-oh, I feel bad because that is a slight pause. I feel bad that I asked. I did not mean to stop his gameplay. So I'm going to switch our audio over to Flash. Get rid of the double audio.
And it's looking like Deep Woods is not useful, so the main Faron path was just grab Bellows and then grab one of the most annoying claw shots locations in the entire game.
Yeah, so our Lake Florida Tennis is 100% Bellows. Although, wait.
That probably means bottle path to LMF isn't a thing because you didn't need.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that bow is now path for like a hook beetle in Sanchin. We don't have Cave's Key though. So the thing that's interesting here is claw shots actually don't unlock a lot right now.
I would actually be fairly surprised if it was a hook beetle related path because there's 2 other beetles that could be around the seed. They'd have to all be blocked by bow.
Yeah. It just this is like weird logic, I will say. I'm trying to figure out. But we're seeing Mirage do an early Betrow because he has 30 crystals. This doesn't feel great again. You only get 2 of the 4 possible checks. So in these settings, 5 and 10 are dead. It's only the 230 checks, 40 and 50.
Yeah, in general, I end up trying to delay Betrow until I have like 50 crystals, and that usually means I delay him for so long that I am in go mode by the time I like would go to Betrow. Oh, but Betrow's got something useful. Hopefully it's not more crystals.
I mean, Mirage is down to almost, even with claw shots, almost a last location.
Digging mitts. That's a really big find.
Okay. I'm now. No, that bottle still couldn't be path because you have another logical way to get to that with claw shot. So, but that is going to send Mirage back to Eldin to full clear. Or not, yeah, full clear Eldin. We're also seeing Mirage do Malara, so this is the only check in Skyloft Village. We did not get a Skyloft Village Baron hit, so you definitely want to do it. I know my race on Friday, we only had 2 Baron regions, so both me and my opponent knew this had to have something.
Yeah, Malara's a very interesting check just because of that property of being the. This is the only region that only has 1 check in these settings, but
it is very commonly hinted Baron.
Yeah,
but
because it kind of eats a Baron slot.
Yeah, but also if it's not hinted Baron, there's a pretty good chance it still is, because like this is similar to Ocarina of Time, where the chances of a region being hinted Baron depend on the number of checks, and our Baron regions are Beetle's Shop, which has 5 checks, Caves, which has 2, and Sky, which has 4.
Caves is another one that's kind of unfortunate to get a Baron hit for because it has the 2 checks are a chest which you can douse really easily and a check that you literally have to collect to enter Lanayru Gorge because the text trigger that gives it to you covers the whole entrance.
Yeah. So, I just thought of something really evil now. What if our Cave's Key is on Gorge Dig Spot? And that is why our Bellows are path to Tantalus. Because we now have myths.
Definitely possible. I think that claw shots is just like very likely, but yeah, that's. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it probably. The claw shots definitely are path as well. Yes, Mirage does have the digging mitts. Also has 30 gratitude crystals. Yeah, and without yeah. Like I said, these claw shots really don't unlock much, although Flash did not check Linear Gorge, which does have one check he can get right now with the claw shots.
Flash picking up Ballad. I don't think Thunderhead had anything of note when Mirage went in there, but
I missed Mirage going in there.
I saw him go in, but I didn't catch what items they were.
Oh, I missed that ping. There's a bomb locked ping by the party wheel.
Yeah, that single check is one of the reasons why I always like entering Linear Desert with bombs, both because bombs open like the entire region, they're very useful, but also because if you see that, you have to use bombs and it's kind of annoying to get back to.
Oh, if I were Flash, I would have gone to the other side of this. Yeah. So if you have to backtrack here anyway, you might as well just do it by opening the gate instead of having to run all the way around. Looks like nothing on top of Magma Turf.
Yeah.
Heart container. I think he's got a blue texture for heart pieces.
Oh. All right, we're gonna be seeing that check, the digging mitts check in Magma Turf soon.
Yeah. For Mirage's sake, we're hoping there is something in one of the 7 checks that he's going to be able to get here in Eldin. Interestingly, Flash did not go get the statue. I hope he got the statue.
Yeah, I didn't catch if he got it while going in.
Yeah, but he did not get the 5 crystals that would get him his... Oh, that is potentially really rough. Because...
How many more locations are actually
accessible? I don't think... The 5 crystals, were they not in LMF?
They were, yes.
Yeah.
So there's still a few locations that he's got from claw shots. Like,
yeah.
Like, not early, sorry, on time Zelda's room. I'm so used to just saying early Zelda's closet.
Yeah. This is the thing. I think Flash is definitely a newer runner. That first chest in LMF is almost always worth going in and at least dowsing to see if it has something. Because it's pretty quick to get. It's in the first room, so you can just walk in and walk out. And if it's got something, sometimes it could be really useful. 5 loose crystals is not necessarily a big deal, but kind of depends on what else Flash has logically accessible.
Looks like Flash might actually be wanting to pick up those 5 loose crystals because I can't think of another reason you'd want to sleep tonight without the harp.
He is doing 5 loose crystals. Yeah, so he's gonna do it. He doesn't have the harp, so he can't do the Collins letter check. Yeah, and this is, if you know where the loose crystals are, getting 5 is relatively straightforward, but it's definitely not something you want to go totally blind into. So the fastest 5 loose crystals, if you don't have like Quick Beetle, usually are Link's room. Yeah, and he's, I think, decided not to do it. There's one in Link's room. There's one as you're leaving the Night Academy on the upper level at night. And then there's 3 or 4 kind of fast ones you can get outside. Zelda's Closet is also not a terrible one, but it's, if you know how to route it, 5 loose crystals can be pretty quick. If you don't, it's usually not a good play.
Yeah, maybe this is just my strats being ancient, but I always like start in Uriel's house and then grab like the ones that are in close proximity around it, because I remember quite a few people did it that way back in season 2. But
Yeah, I because I started playing on different settings, loose crystals are something I know how to do pretty quickly, and I think it's fair to say I do loose crystals far more than I should, including misreading and not realizing I had 50 and getting 5 loose crystals.
Oh no!
That happened in my race on Friday.
That's unfortunate.
It was very funny how people who have watched me know that I go for loose crystals so often that they saw it coming. It's a thing I do that is not usually a good play. And Flash landing on the bird's nest first try. This is not
Can be kind of
an easy thing.
It's more difficult in the randomizer because of the gigantic sand
It's our
pile
tumbleweed.
that's put there.
Flash picked up Tim.
Let's go. All the merit.
Yes. Yeah, that getting that check is surprisingly hard because you think, oh, I'm going to tilt up before I run off. And that's where you make the mistake. If you try and like tilt your flying before you run off, you will miss it. So Tim stands for Tumbleweed of Infinite Merit. My understanding is Fant on a GDQ run named it Tim, and then the backronym has been Tumbleweed of Infinite Merit.
Yeah.
But I was not in the Skyward Sword community at that point, so I'm not 100% sure where the origin is.
Yeah, what you were mentioning about diving is the game, whatever like position you're holding the Wii remote in, when Link like first enters the diving state is what the game considers like your neutral dive, even if that's not neutral in terms of like the actual orientation. So if you're already tilting forward, you have to basically tilt it 90 degrees and have the buttons face the screen to actually get Link to go forward.
Yeah, it's a very it's intuitive if you understand it, but it's one of those things you can kind of think too far ahead and just completely miss that check.
Yeah. This game makes sense most of the time, but when it doesn't make sense, it can be like really weird.
So these digging mitts for Mirage. What we got was it a bottle in Magma Turf?
I think we got 2 Gratitude Crystal packs. One was in Magma Turf, and one was on those rupees on the way up. But I haven't seen anything else from the dig spots. Also, yeah,
this has been, again, you tend to think digging mitts, they open up like 9 checks because you can climb, and this is a whole lot of nothing still. Which is why I'm starting to get more and more suspicious of the gorge digging spot that we haven't seen yet. But also neither runner is able to do it because Flash does not yet have digging mitts. Mirage does not yet have... Oh no, Mirage does have Bella, but does not have Clawshaw. I think Mirage is probably checking the top of Magma Turf here, but is unfortunately going to find nothing. This genuinely, I think, might be a seed where gratitude crystals that
Bomb bag.
oh
Wait, that's so huge. That's probably the Elden volcano to LMF.
yeah, and that means that is actually a logical bow.
Which
Because
is
we know one bow is locked behind bow.
Uh-huh.
And you technically, so these runners, well, I was going to say these runners. Many runners do not need a bow or a slingshot to climb Elden Volcano. The game does expect you to have one to be able to kill the bokoblins that throw rocks at you. So
And fire shield earrings.
that is
Some of it
less
isn't
fun.
barren, so we'll see
Yeah.
if Mirage decides to check it out.
Yeah, he does not have white sword, so dousing it is especially gross.
Yeah, you can only get one check without magma mitts.
Well, he doesn't have claw shot, so he's not going to go check it because he can't get either check.
Oh, you can't get either of them, right? I'm silly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always just think of claw shots as required for the fire sanctuary entrance.
Yeah. So
If only
I
you could
expect
claw
we're
shot
going to
those.
find our second beetle in fire node or lightning node at this point. Just with how few checks are left, there's not a lot that's bomb bag locked right now, and we need a hook beetle to progress in LMF. Because they don't have, even if they knew the whip trick, neither of them has a whip. So, yeah, man, this is a little unfortunate for Flash. Not checking the first chest in LMF. He is going to check it at some point because it'll be a last location, but he's kind of doing everything else first. And those claw shots that felt like they were really good have kind of turned out to be not that useful so far.
Yeah, they haven't opened up that much on their own, but it's still going to be it's still a big advantage to have them, I think, just because Mirage, especially because he's getting all of these other items, is not going to want to head back to the Great Tree until he gets claw shots. So it could very well turn into a last location. And there's the Magma Mitts.
Yeah, Magma Mitts were locked behind bomb bag, so that is mitts locked mitts.
And unfortunately, without claw shots, Mirage doesn't have that much access to Bokoblin base yet.
Yeah.
But
so I'm going to say this because I'm 99% sure this is true. Even though it was not hinted, we got path gratitude crystals, I think, because there are no gratitude crystals we've seen that were not locked behind those mitts on.
Yeah,
on
that's
30.
a good point. And I don't think loose crystals are considered for logic in
Not in
Remlits.
these settings. This has been the elusive gratitude crystal path has been a thing people have been kind of joking about. Because there are 9 gratitude crystal packs. You need either 2, 4, or 6 of them to get your checks. So just because of the way Randomizer works, it's kind of hard to have that many gratitude crystals locked. But I think this might be the rare seed where that is the case.
Yeah, you really need a seed like this, which has a very bottlenecked opening. Because if you get too many items at the start, there's just too many accessible locations for the gratitude crystals to be. There really has to be like a single bottleneck that locks the entire seed.
Yeah, because the only check basically that with claw shots Flash has access to that Mirage does not that might have something is Gorge Dig Spot. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and Volcano Summit.
If that Gorge Dig Spot has a crystal path and a crystal pack and ruins this, that would be very sad.
Yeah, the nice thing for Mirage, he's probably not going to have to go. It looked like there's nothing in the back of Fire Node. He should probably douse it again to be 100% sure. But yep, that is very convenient. Because there are so many chests in these nodes.
And there's the Hook Beetle.
Yeah.
That would be a full clear of LMF available for Mirage now. Probably going to head there very soon.
Yeah. Yep. We still don't really know what the Lake Floria to Tantalus was. I'm thinking it's something in LMF though.
I'm
Cave
fairly confident it's just claw shots for Sandsea access.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
The Great Tree.
Yeah. But also, something's got to be
like Cave Ski in LMF, but
yeah, we just don't have that many locations left where something could be. So,
if Cave Ski is in LMF, it might actually trick Mirage into thinking that the Bellows path was for Cave Ski.
Well, he's still going to have to find claw shots, though.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, but that might lead him even further away from the Great Tree.
Yeah.
Because he won't think claw shots were locked behind Gus Bellows.
Although, Mirage is going to hit...
Instead.
Once Mirage gets through LMF, he's not going to have that many checks left.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably that would be true if Mirage were in LMF. Sadly, is not quite yet. So let's see. I didn't see where the pings were.
Will probably have left LMF, considering he doesn't have access to anything else. But getting the crystal pack
Mirage, just use the bow. The bow, if you charge a shot, will one-hit these Technoblins. Yeah, and because he's low on health, he's going to kind of do this safely with the Hook Beetle. Makes sense when you're low.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Technoblin coming in from behind.
Oh. This is going to be really useful if he can Death Warp out. Although, there's going to be a Triforce here, probably, that gives him full health.
That would be quite the troll. The slingshot.
Was there nothing in the back of... Oh, so he did that for nothing.
He may be grabbing those so he can get... grabbing the front items before the last one. If you want
yeah. Yeah. So, those are 2 junk items.
Usually, if you have,
Mirage, you gotta be out of the tunnel.
I think you can be in here.
Okay.
It'll just be a different way you gotta run through the quicksand when it comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Flash is trying to go to Gorge here. Knowing where the target shortcuts are, there's one kind of... There we go. You got it.
Yeah. The Neighbor Desert... and the Quick Beetle. So, multiple logical beetles were opened up by Bombag.
Yeah. Oh, Flash.
This is fine. There's still a path
you're right.
up by the Temple of Time entrance.
You're right. Yeah. But
but don't go into Temple of Time.
I hope he remembers this is not the right way.
Yeah. Temple of Time is an area that does not have any locations in the entire randomizer, actually.
Well, it's got a cube.
Well, it has a goddess cube.
And
it has a goddess cube.
And it has that gossip stone.
Oh,
everyone's favorite gossip stone.
Technically, that's not a check, but
yeah. Yeah, you will never see anyone go into Temple of Time, perhaps other than to get that safe statue for faster access to caves.
Yeah.
Although I think even then, there's a statue on the other side that's maybe slightly closer. If you just kind of run across the top of the platforms.
Looks like Flash is heading back to mines to probably go through caves into
Yeah.
Gorge.
You will be able to get the item below the Thunder Dragon, but not. Flash is getting bottlenecked into Patro.
Yeah, it
I
seems
think
like
this is going to be his last location. Yeah, and this is. You do not see this that often in these settings where you get really hard bottlenecks, but this has been one of those seeds where the runners bottleneck.
yeah. A lot of the time in Remlit seeds, I just get like a bunch of good items in Sphere 0 and then chain off of that for the rest of the game. They're usually fairly open-ended.
Yeah, and like this is not. I will say this. This is kind of a gross logic seed.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Like bottlenecks are one thing. You can have bottlenecks where it's pretty clear what you have to do. But this is like logically required bat 30. Still a lot of gross stuff.
Mirage doing some nice break slides to cross that quicksand there. Those were very clean.
I am not good at break slides. I don't tend to do them.
They're a very weird trick. You've really just got to get a feel for them because they're very janky.
I like what Mirage is. I didn't think about this. I like what Mirage is doing here. He's going to use the bow to shoot this, and he's already going to be right next to that chest.
Next to the chest, yeah.
Not going to have to use bellows. If you have bow, this is a pretty smart thing to do to cross the sand instead of having to blow the platforms.
It is. And there's the Triforce of Power from LMF that was hinted at the start.
Yeah.
So
Flash
has the option to go to Sansi, checking the statue for the Gorge Dig spot later.
Yeah, that is going to keep him away from Patro.
Yeah. But
okay, I think we're going to see Flash probably because he's skipping this side, so we're probably going to see him do the bit war.
Yeah, Mirage will probably do the bit war because I don't think the single Armos chest pinged.
Yeah.
If it did, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I think if it had pinged, he would have gone through the room. So
yeah,
Sansi is gonna have something because it was not hinted Baron. Also, this does open up a lot of sandship for Flash.
The question is, Whip is a big factor in Sansi because it restricts a lot of sandship and also Skipper's Retreat.
I think what I would do in Flash's shoes. So, one, Skirvo was not hinted dead. I would go into Sandship and check the boss key check Skirvo, the Stern, the things you can do, because you can douse the chests in the treasure room from pretty high up. But do you want to talk about what Mirage is doing?
Oh yeah, sure.
The first back in time trick.
Looks like he didn't reset at quite the right time. So in Skyward Sword, if you die and then press continue and reset your console, or reset through the Wii menu at the exact same time, not the exact same time, it's a fairly lenient window, but the game gets a little confused and tries to respawn Link, but the game's been told to reset, so as we'll see in just a moment, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think did he get it?
yeah, no, that should be totally fine.
Okay. It's just, you have to have hit okay. I didn't see him do that.
Yeah. So the game will respawn Link on the title screen, which is very funny. And this allows you to do a lot of things because you have access to your save files while in control of Link. And that gives you a lot of freedom to do very glitchy things. But what we're going to be seeing Mirage doing here is what's called a bit warp, where you save at a bird statue and start your file at the same time. And the game will start your file, but it'll save the coordinates of the statue back in time onto your file instead. So when you respawn, you won't spawn where you saved normally, but you'll spawn somewhere else. In this case, on the other side of this gate here, which skips a couple of rooms in LMF. Huh? What was that?
Assume that maybe it was a Twitch alert.
Ah.
Yeah, so this does allow you to skip one room here in LMF. He may also be doing he might be doing the RBM for this gate. Potentially, or I don't know which RBM he's gonna do.
Yeah, probably those shortcuts.
Yeah.
It looks like Flash does not know about the beetle, the C pillars without quick beetle.
Or
trick.
he's just going to do them when he leaves. He had aggroed the geese already.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
I always do it before I go in. So
yeah, so you can warp out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is possible he doesn't know. It's not the most intuitive thing necessarily. Yeah. So one other thing. So you can actually run past this BMOS on the left side, right here, if you are fast enough.
You gotta be quick though, otherwise.
You've got to be quick, yeah.
Wait, hang on. How did he not get zapped by the Technoblin's sword?
I don't know.
It looks like the Technoblin blocked it, but I don't know. So Mirage is creating a corrupt file, and
there's our first Sword of the Seed.
Oh, nice. So Mirage is going to be doing a trick called RBM, or Reverse Back in Time Magic, where you start your file and set a flag on Skyloft at the same time, and it sets the flag instead of on Skyloft, it sneaks the flag onto your save file.
Yeah.
Which is very cool, and it lets you do quite a lot of things.
And is this going to open up this gate in the middle?
That it should open up the shortcut box behind this gate.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Not sure if that was actually done at the right time.
Yeah. Do you have to commit it, or is saving? Will it commit that flag?
LMF doesn't have an auto commit, so. But I think Mirage may have recognized that he mistimed it.
Okay.
Because he finished the text and then started his file, and you need to start your file before that.
Yeah. I am not an experienced bit player.
Yeah, there's a
Flash. I don't
know
if there's anything else here. I don't know if the third chest ping.
I personally find it kind of hard to tell if the first, which chests are pinging from the start. I just go in if there's one.
Yeah, they are relatively close together in the dungeon, so it can be kind of tricky. Like, all three of them from the front of the dungeon are pretty close to each other.
Yeah. But so, Back in Time has a lot of different things you can do with it, but certainly not a requirement to play SSR. There's quite a lot of runners that rarely or never use bit, and they play very well.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention a couple minutes ago we hit the happy 1 hour. Thank you to both of our trackers, Tomal Talk and Baseball. You can follow our 2 runners, and thanks Mario as well for commentating.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flash is just going to death warp out of here.
Ooh, the Spume hitting him at a very nice time to combo. Oh yeah, Robo makes an excellent point in chat that I don't think we talked about. So this there's a back in time trick called the dig spot RBM where you do an RBM that sets the flag of having dug up a dig spot in Elden Volcano, and dig spots are different from normal like places where you get items. Where if you set their flag, the item will actually be given to you. If you RBM like a chest or something, the item will just vanish and you can't get it. But the dig spot will give it to you, which is very nice. And
Yeah.
in this seed, the corresponding dig spot actually had bomb bag. So doing that, some players love to do that trick right near the start of the seed because it can pay off big time for not that much time investment. And in this seed, you would have been able to get bomb bag right from the start, which would have been a huge advantage.
Yeah, so Flash is not checking Skipper's Retreat, not getting the statue either. He's just going straight to Sandship here. Also did not get the 2 rupees that are technically, logically, he can't get. Thing that surprises me here. So with Mirage, he did the RBM, but actually did have something on the Armos chest. Or did the
maybe he mispinged.
Yeah, there is another chest that this can look like that's like kind of directly behind it. And yeah,
no.
And the best place to actually ping those chests from is the hub room because they angle pretty differently. Weirdly, that chest in kind of in the crawling maze, for whatever reason, even though it's not loaded in, it actually will douse from the front room.
That's because you can get it during using a bit warp.
Okay.
If you bit warp from the front of the dungeon, you can get that by running across some unloaded
Okay. Well,
unloaded room.
Yeah. But if you douse from the front from the first room, those two can look very similar. One of the things, dousing can be very powerful, but it's also something you really do have to learn how to use effectively.
The piece texture is incredibly cool, by the way. I don't think I've.
So that actually was. That is the chest in the spike maze room.
Yeah. I'm actually.
And again, from the front, I think all 3 of those can load. Yeah, so it is kind of easy to mix up.
Based on the distance of the dowsing, I think that makes sense. But, yeah.
Yeah, judging distance, though, can be really tricky. I mean, Flash is in Sandship right now. There's 2 chests that you can douse from the outside that also can appear to be in very similar locations and kind of interfere with each other. Also, Flash, unfortunately, so all of the barrels on the deck have arrows, which can really help you. Like, you can refill arrows pretty quickly on Sandship, so you don't run out. But you do need a number of arrows to climb and to get to the chest on the stern. I wonder if the small key is going to be here in this room. Because there was something on the right side that is small key locked, but the small key is kind of in the back half here, which Happens a lot in LMF.
I still suspect that the boss key chest has something, because I don't know if it's been pinged yet. Tough beetle. All right, so we found all 4 beetles. On
Yeah, and they
Mirage's side.
were they all locked behind the first beetle? I don't remember.
Well, that one's
Certainly, one of them is locked behind Hook Beetle. The other one wasn't.
The two of them were locked by bombs.
Yeah.
So outside of LMF, that one was locked by Hook Beetle.
Yeah.
And then was bombs locked by regular beetle?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so then they weren't.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so that does look like the chest at the stern. So there is a side hop you can do to kind of skip this. If you basically get perpendicular to this wall here, you can kind of side hop off the top of that top of the mast and just skip over the wall without claw shots.
And there's the Triforce of Courage from Sandship. So we found the 2 hinted Triforce pieces across both runners, but there's still a third one that we have no knowledge of right now.
Yeah, the thing that's kind of interesting about this is between the 2 runners, we have seen not the entire seed. Like, we haven't seen Bokoblin Base yet. We haven't even seen our second digging mitts. But we've seen a lot of the seed. So what we're seeing Mirage do here is this trick. You can jump on top of this minecart.
It's kind of janky, though.
Yeah, you have to angle right. It's a weird trick. I think it took me like 15 tries, my seed.
Oh, Mirage actually leaving the dungeon. Flash checking hits again.
Does he have the small key? Did I miss that?
I don't think so. It's not marked on his personal tracker. Yeah, no, he doesn't have it.
Oh, but if he did the RBM for the shortcut, that might be why he's just doing it this way.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he doused the right side to see if it had anything. Small key locked anything, but
yeah. So
I mean, it's possible if the boss key is on the shortcut chest or something, you can actually have the small key in LMF be on Molder Rock, which is awful. But the game can do that to you.
I couldn't quite tell just there, but it looked to me like there was a ping coming from the Sandship treasure room, which is not what you want to see if you're Flash right now, because he doesn't have whip, which is required to grab that.
Yeah, you're really hoping this chest right here has your whip.
This one did ping, so let's hope. And there it is! Wait, you called it!
Wow. So, yeah, so nice for Flash. He can now full clear this dungeon.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to find.
Yeah, and because the brig saving the robots is dead, he actually can skip one half of the puzzle. He does need to change it to. Oh, he may not know this. Yeah, so
I'm not sure if he hit the boat. If he did, I missed it.
Yeah. So if you do not have to get the bridge check, I was gonna say left side, but that doesn't really make much sense. But this room is only required if you have to actually get to the brig to save the robots. That was hinted as a bow, which is not required. So Flash actually does not need to do this room. But that's something you kind of have to know with experience, and
yeah,
Flash may just not know that.
It's a very niche situation, but that's why the brig is a sometimes hint, because it gives you the opportunity to potentially skip half of this puzzle.
Yeah. We also have not seen him. We've not seen the boss key chest. We've not seen Skirvo. Yeah, baseball. I
Mirage
think
doing
the thing about Sandship,
box RBM again.
it's a really cool dungeon. I think in vanilla, like the puzzle is really interesting. It uses a lot of the mechanics. In vanilla or in randomizer, it's a little gross.
Yeah.
But you also are able to skip big parts of it.
In rando, it's just kind of, it suffers from an unfortunate problem of being a little samey, because you have to do the puzzle the same way every time if you need the treasure room. But that's actually why in these settings we start with, that's 3 items in treasure room. Wow.
Yeah.
So
one of them
we
is
start
probably
with-
going to be a sword. Just
Oh yeah, and one's probably the boss key too.
yes. Unless the boss key is on Skirvo or in the boss key chest.
But so there's we start with a couple of dungeon keys in these settings, and the Sandship ones are a little weird because it's like we just start with all of the small keys for this dungeon immediately. But the reason we do that is to make it so that you don't always have to do the treasure room, because with the small keys just being anywhere in Sandship, one of them is almost always in the treasure room, which means it'll
Yes.
always give a dowsing signal, and you'll have to do it basically every time.
I mean, to be fair, how often does the treasure room have nothing in it? Just
it doesn't. It's not the most common, but it definitely it's definitely happened.
yeah, it's
like,
there's 5
it
chests there.
Especially if Sandship is late, it happens a lot more.
Yeah.
And it just makes the dungeon a little less samey, which makes it more interesting. Just don't be like me and see one check and then assume it's not the sword, only to come crawling back with 0 locations, because it actually was.
Baseball. Midas House of SSR, but inconvenient. That is, I actually think, quite accurate. It's one more check. But
Yeah, it's one of the only places in SSR that has a very high density of checks in the same place.
yeah,
There's some,
I mean,
some
5 chests in
some
one
movies
room
where-
is Ancient Cistern. There's the room with all the rupees.
Yeah, the room with all of those rupees is probably the only comparable one.
Yeah, which, if you've been watching SSR for a while, you know, Ancient Cistern used to be a really bad dungeon. But
And then Rupee
at the end
Sanity
of Rupee
gives you
Sanity,
twice
we
as many checks.
yeah. Yeah, Rupee Sanity changed a lot, I think, just generally in the game. Because even like Linear Sansi used to be worse. Although the fast boat is probably the bigger culprit, but adding a bunch of checks there made it better. Yeah. Yeah. One thing kind of for both runners, I would say, if they watch this back, you should make very liberal use of the bow when you're fighting enemies and you have it. The bow will one-shot so many things that
It one-shots basically every normal enemy at its base level, as long as you charge it up.
Yeah.
Which makes the upgrades really funny, because the main thing the upgrades give you is extra damage, but it's not necessary since basically everything dies in one hit to it anyway. The only thing I can think of that doesn't die in one hit to a charged bow shot is the Toes of Imprisoned 2, which can be hit by the bow, and you'll get one shot by Sacred Bow, but not normal bow. But that's like the only thing I can think of.
yeah, it's very hard to actually get them, but Lizalfos will also one-hit kill from a bow. It's
Yeah. you kind of have to
Lizalfos are kind of the scourge of everyone. When you're starting out, Lizalfos are one of the harder enemies to kill.
No. Mirage fell down.
Did Mirage push the... Did he push the block?
I think he did, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. When you're going through this room, takes takes like 2 seconds. Push that block. If you fall down, you'll be very happy you did, because it saves like...
There are a lot of like little shortcuts and little things in the game that if you watch like Jazzniks or Gymnast, they will skip them. But that take a couple seconds and can save you huge amounts of time in niche situations. Like lots of the shortcuts in various dungeons. Yeah, I think Mirage was trying to do the hook beetle bomb trick and just having trouble getting it. It is not the most precise timing wise, but requires some pretty quick B wheel. So I understand not going for it.
Yeah, it's a weird trick as well, because you have to hit the statues have a pretty interesting like collision, because they're not just like flat, and they've got some parts that stick out of the front, and you need to not bump into those or else the bomb won't hit.
Yeah. There are some interesting tricks you can do with the game, because the bomb radius in SSR is much larger than you realize. And there are several places where you can actually use a bomb and blow something up across a wall.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't check for collisions does some interesting stuff. Brainstorm Thunder discovered some cool tech in Skyview pretty recently.
So this is going to be the small key, I think, for LMF. Unless there's something in the game that prevents it from being on Molder Rock, but I don't think there is.
I'm pretty sure it can't be on Molder Rock.
Okay.
I think small keys cannot be placed on the heart container or final check of a dungeon.
Okay.
Even if they're not required to.
Got it. That's different from some other games.
Yeah, it's been that way for a while. I think if I'm spreading misinformation, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I think I was just thinking about that. So was that was the small key then?
Yep, you got the small key. Yep, and that's what I expected to see, because we got Bomb Bag in Elden Volcano, and Bomb Bag path to LMF is only required for a single location, which is that one right there.
Yep.
And
also, oh no, it's not required for the shortcut chest. You're right.
Yeah. The only location it's like fully required for is the boss key chest. It can help out and be faster for a lot of other things, but you don't strictly need it.
Yeah, so that means, and I will say, like, the boss key being on one of those two checks, either the shortcut or the boss key chest, is a lot more common, I think, than you realize. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've watched too much Ocarina of Time where, like, you could logically have a small key on certain bosses, like Volvagia. That I was thinking about it, but that makes sense that it's not possible in SSR.
Yeah.
I think Mirage is going to try another one of these bomb tricks with Hook Beetle. Technically, the game expects you to use the Hook Beetle to grab that bomb on the right side.
There's the squid carving in Treasure Room, as expected.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see Flash do Skirvo. It was not hinted. It is not the most fun check. but potentially also not something you want to abandon.
There's White Sword. All right, so Flash has 2 of the 4 swords needed to beat the game now.
Yeah, so is that 2 in Sansi?
I forget where
One
he
in
got the other
Sanship.
one.
I thought the other one was in Pirate Stronghold.
Ah, yes, you're correct. Yeah, there was one in Pirates and now one in Treasure Room.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that third ping was just an empty bottle.
Yeah. So if you are where Flash is and you don't have to clear the brig, the fastest way to get back to the start, weirdly, is if you go to the left side out of here and get crushed by one of these, you will actually get warped back to the entrance of the area.
Yeah. If you're on low enough health, it's faster to die. Ooh, there's another sword on the side of Mirage.
Yeah, so
That's
we have 2 Triforces and 2 swords in our required dungeons. I have a weird feeling that Bokoblin Base is going to have something.
Yeah, that's seeming likely. Because there's not that much left that we haven't seen from either of the runners at this point, I think. Bokoblin Base, there's Volcano Summit, and the last couple of Betrow checks, but...
Yeah, those Betrow checks are sitting out there.
We've seen most of Skyview, or Skyloft, excuse me. We've seen, I think, basically all of Faron, and except for Gorko, actually, it could still be like Gorko or Song, but we need the harp for those. So
yeah, that's I was gonna say the other item. We are
collectively,
for how few checks collectively we have not seen, we are missing a lot of Go mode items, which is making me, which is what makes me very suspicious of the Bokoblin Base. Like we could see something.
Yep. Okay. There was no other place it could have been.
Like those second digging mitts are sticking out as a really potentially really bad item that we just don't have. That could be, and I guess they could be on either of the bosses. We are, like I said, we're missing a fair number of kind of Go mode items. 1 sword, 1 Triforce, the harp.
And 1 harp. We are missing 1 of every category of Go mode item, even though one of those categories is just the harp.
Yeah. Yeah, and Skipper's Retreat, I'm hoping Flash will go back as well. Yeah, he does not have Hook Beetle. So so he's not going to be able to climb Pirate Stronghold, so he won't check it. Because you either need Hook Beetle or
he could use the whip on the cactus.
I would be surprised if he knows that trick.
Yeah, it's pretty janky, but
it's not a trick even like I would do fairly often.
The only reason I know about it is because like when the rando was being made, I remember people were like, hey, you could whip the cactus. That's a thing for logic that you could do. But yeah, it is kind of weird because you have to like smack the cactus with your sword basically first to get it in a position where you can actually grab the bomb with the whip.
Yeah, it's just it's a weirdly precise trick. Curvo fight, I will say, is I know it's a fight a lot of people have trouble with. It is not the easiest fight. That said, if you have a shield, you can parry any of his attacks. It's also I found basically if you are just moving forward and jab, like you're fencing with an epee, pretty much every hit will go. The problem, of course, is Wiimote does not always accept your inputs. But this is Flash,
Yeah,
I think,
this
is
has been
practicing.
going very, very cleanly.
He's even getting, like, he's knowing when to jump slash, when Skirvo lines up.
Unfortunately, in his third cycle, he's a little harder to
Yeah,
knock back like that.
yeah, the third phase is much harder.
All right, a successful parry. Oh no! I didn't know he could counter like that.
Yeah, this is... There are a lot of people who play any percent who don't use their shield for much. This is one of the exceptions.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest areas that like everyone likes to have a shield because without it,
This fight is a nightmare.
sometimes you just have to. If you don't have a shield and he attacks you, not all attacks you can stun him. So you just have to backflip and you just lose a bunch of space.
Yeah.
when you do that.
Meanwhile, I mean, that was
Yeah.
a pretty clean fight from Flash.
Yeah,
Better
he
than
put
my
that very
last
safe
fight.
at the end.
Also, a very clean Moldarak from Mirage. We didn't talk about that, but got Moldarak backed up so you could do the one cycle second phase. If you
Yeah.
back Moldarak up right up against a wall, he will actually not burrow himself.
Yeah, you can just hit him fast enough so that he doesn't have time. Because you're supposed to like hit him once and then he goes away from you and starts to burrow. But if you hit him against a wall, he doesn't have space to move out of range.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see Vanilla Harp. That would be exciting.
That would be. You do not, just by sheer percentage wise, does not happen very often. But yeah, the harp is the reward for beating this dungeon.
Yeah, especially considering that you can't even have Vanilla Harp in 2/3 of seeds because they don't have this dungeon.
Yeah.
As
Heart
a
Container, I think, had nothing.
Our container was the hour rupee or something.
We can see this. Mirage is taking this time to stretch.
Yeah, LMF has a lot of long cutscenes and some waiting at the end of it, so it's a good time to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the harp was not in its vanilla location.
Yeah. And Mirage is getting to the point now where he is going to have to climb the Great Tree soon. He does have 40 crystals. He hasn't been tracking. We can see his tracker. He hasn't really been tracking gratitude crystals at all. Yeah, we see Flash going in to clear our other dungeon. He's going to fight Tantalus here. This is when you see fast speedrunners do Tantalus, it looks really easy. There are a lot of kind of stupid, precise bow shots in this fight that can make it kind of tricky.
Yeah, mainly like right when Tantalus first opens their eye. Sometimes they'll be nice and just like kind of sit there and wait for you, and then you can shoot it pretty easily. But if they start to swing their arm right away, the eye will like move around a bunch, and it can be very difficult to hit.
Yeah.
But if you time it precisely, you can hit the eye before it starts to move. But doing that it is quite difficult.
Yeah, and the second phase of Tantalus is surprisingly tricky. Again, it's one of those, it looks really easy. People make it look easy. Yeah, so
Also,
Mirage
yeah.
is going to get his claw shots shortly.
So yeah, you run out of arrows when you're fighting
Yeah.
I can't tell if Mirage is trying to douse Great Tree because you can't actually douse when you're swimming. You can only.
I think he was trying to douse it.
So hopefully, he goes back. As if he.
The other thing too with these shots is you don't actually have to charge your shot to hit his eye. If you miss the first time, yeah, I was gonna say if you miss the first shot, you should just spam arrows without charging, because even with the wild aim, you can just get more shots out.
Yeah, that is something important to note, that charging the bow does make it significantly more accurate. There's a lot of it goes basically exactly where you shoot it if you charge up, but if you just mash the A button, it'll be...
Yeah. Tentalis's eye is large enough, though, that you can generally hit it, but it's not intuitive. Yeah, we see that...
Oh, yeah. The bellows are very strange. On the North American 1.0 release of the game, which is what the randomizer is based off of, and only this version, the gust bellows damage Tentalis's eye for some reason.
Nobody really knows why.
But
it's a fun
really
meme
funny.
that the community has embraced fully. I want to say, was it Pac-Man Power Ghost who discovered the trick?
So, yeah.
And he actually has an emote that is just blowing. I was gonna say it's like you're killing Tentalis with the pressure test you do with the optometrists. If you know what that is.
I don't.
It's I have bad eyes, so I have the thing where they have to puff your eye. Oh, he's gonna have to. Oh no, he got through. That is the other thing with Tentalis, is sometimes his I don't even know what to call them. His little hair will block you.
Yeah, the tentacles.
Yeah. So the third Thunderhead item is a bottle. So that could be the Baron blocking item in Thunderhead. I wonder if we're going to see Mirage kit up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did leave Faron without checking Great Tree, so...
Yeah, I think he's going to have to figure out, though, that it's something. Yeah, so this second phase, there's a trick you could do here where you basically jump off and warp back, and you can... Tentalis will reset faster, and his eye will open. And this is one, again, where you don't really aim, but you'll get out before the snakes attack you.
Yeah, I think it's less that Tentalis opens the eye faster, but Tentalis won't start using the hair hydra until Link is respawned. But that timer will reset, but the eye's timer won't. So if you jump off, you can have some of that time waiting for the eye to open basically negated, and then you can hit it before the hair starts to attack you.
Yeah, and getting that shot in particular,
I think it's the hardest shot in the fight.
I never charge it. I just I'm going for it, I just quickly hit A. Mirage. Does Mirage have Magnumits and we just don't have it?
Mirage does, yes.
Okay,
Mirage
so
had Magnumits for a while. They're on the
base makes a lot of sense for him. He's can full clear it with what he's... No, he can't, because he has neither claw shots nor whip.
Yeah, so he'll actually only be able to get one or two checks. No, 3. You can get
because you can ride around.
You can get the whip chest without claw shots.
But this will give us some good information. Um,
But yeah, you're hard required to have claw shots to get any farther in the Koblin base, unless you do
no, if
like
you whip, you can. But
if
it
you
looks
do,
like
because if you
that
have
is one
whip,
of the bomb bag lock. You need bomb bag to climb.
because
Oh
if
no,
you
you
have
don't need bomb bag.
you can do the like p hat skip trick to
Oh
skip
right,
claw
you need
shots,
claw shots.
but the
Yeah.
whip only brings the p hat up, and you still need the claw shots to get over the fence.
Yeah, I was not thinking about that at all. So
I
yeah,
should
he
learn
is
P
claw
hat
shot
skip.
lock.
P hat skip is a trick that I've tried to do without learning it a bunch, and it's not that kind of trick. uh, right, so it looks like Flash is hopefully heading for Betrow, so finally gonna be grabbing those digging mitts,
Yeah,
which will
he's got. We're going to see Bat 40 also.
yeah.
It would
Also,
not entirely surprise me on this seed if like all 4 mature checks have something, and because
the first
for
30
a
check,
Remlits seed, we are missing a lot of gratitude crystals. Like
yeah.
typically this far in, you're going to have 50.
Unfortunately, I think Flash's routing does prove that the gratitude crystals were not path, because
Yes,
more were accessible outside of those first 30.
that is accurate. It's okay.
40 just having a heart piece, so nothing useful there for now.
But
Burrow's going into Volcano Summit to try to get the digging, the item behind digging with Moments. Probably
yeah,
hoping that's claw shots.
and he'll douse the other item.
Does he? I don't think he has White Sword. Oh no, you don't need White Sword to douse that one.
Yeah, there's a chest here that you can douse.
Yeah, I saw somebody douse the like use gratitude crystal dowsing to douse the item behind digging the other day, and that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Yeah, I've done that. You have to know how many rupees are there. That's kind of the trick. But yeah, with the level 4 sword can douse for certain items, and you can actually douse freestanding items, or rupee checks.
Yeah.
In
You won't
certain
be able
places.
to tell. Yeah, you can't tell if they're useful necessarily, but you can tell if they are some items like treasures, gratitude crystals, rupees, which you might not necessarily want to collect.
Yeah.
And that looks like a blue bird feather.
Yeah, I've been thinking about setting up a bet, but I also don't know what the bet would be. And there's just not a lot of checks left that we haven't seen. But yeah, I mean, Mirage really is going to have to go back. Like he can't have that much left at this point.
He's probably very close to 0 locations with outside of Great Tree,
Yeah,
if not there already.
yeah, and I get it. You don't want to climb the Great Tree without claw shots. Flash, meanwhile, he's
Yeah,
he's got a lot of checks now because he's about to break open the seed.
Yeah. Finally getting Upper Elden access after an hour and 45 minutes, because there was just like a ton of stuff you could do
Yeah,
without it, which is quite interesting because Upper Elden can be accessed by either pair of mitts, Hook Beetle, which is just any 2 of the 4 beetles, and Bomb Bag, but every single one of those is locked by that first pair of mitts, so you have to get that one in this seed to climb up Elden.
I mean, this is It is rare that Upper Elton has nothing because it's 7 checks,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but it does happen. This is just not one of those seeds.
Isn't it 8? Because there's the chest by Volcano Ascent and the 2 rupees and the 5 dig spots plus Volcano Summit for more.
Yes, you're right. I was forgetting about that chest by the Ascent. Yeah, and
it's not very upper in terms of like verticality, so
yeah,
makes sense.
we're gonna see the Great Tree now, I think, from Mirage. Or
Yeah.
Deep Woods first, and then Great Tree. I don't think you check.
Woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is hard to watch 2 streams sometimes.
I think now Mirage has realized that the Great Tree is the only path forward. Wait. Oh no, is he going to Petro 40? Oh no, that's not what you want to see. That's just unfortunate. Because I'm thinking Petro 40, yeah, because I saw him open the item menu.
Yeah,
and he like scrolled his cursor by the crystal kill.
Yeah, I get why. Like, I get why he's doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm worried he might not necessarily. I mean, he's got the tracker, so he should know there's 2 chests on or 2 rupee checks on top of the Great Tree. It's probably just a matter of like, I really don't want to do these.
It may also be that just like forgetting you can do it with Scale and Bellows because it comes up so rarely.
Yeah, it is.
So like if he hasn't done it in a very long time and doesn't remember how to do it, like I could very much understand not wanting to do it under like any circumstances. But unfortunately, it's just not in this seed.
And there's 50 crystals for Flash. Interestingly, no indication that the other crystals are in Logic yet. But I would guess they are, probably. I would guess we're not going to have some weird Betro 50.
They're probably in like the Goblin or something.
Yeah, because at this point,
Betro 50 would even have.
They'd all have to be locked behind Harp, I think. Which there are just enough checks that could be. I guess. Mirage just doing. I'm trying to figure out what Mirage is doing here. Is he just going at night to get to Petro? Or is he doing loose crystals to get to 50? Yeah, this might be a loose crystal play. I think it is. And with Quick Beetle, you can get 10 loose crystals without having to leave Skyloft. You do have to kind of go the whole way around. And gets the unfortunate Pipit dialogue trigger. This is a thing you only get if you've done the Malara check. I think only at night by Malara's house, if I remember correctly. It's you have to kind of go out of your way to avoid it. I would guess Mirage, because he's experienced, knows where to get 10 loose crystals. But 10 loose crystals is going to feel really bad unless it has something useful. And unfortunately, we know 10 loose crystals, the best thing it could have at this point is your Harp on Bat 50. But this genuinely could be something where Mirage may not know what he's able to get, may not know top of great trees and logic. So it's hard to say. So the loose crystal play it's not completely irrational. It's just slow. Like,
Yeah,
10 loose crystals takes a while. Because to get 10, you're going to have to use the beetle, I think, to get one of the two on the bottom by Waterfall Cave.
Or you just have to walk through it.
Yeah.
If you don't know.
Yeah, because you can get... I'm thinking about crystals.
You either do that, or you can theoretically skip those two
and get the one on Waterfall Island.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. Which you can actually also get with Quick Beetle without having to climb.
Because Skyloft has 12 loose crystals on it.
Yeah, I was trying to think about the math. Obviously, with Beetle's Shop Dead, there's no reason to get that one. The 2 Lumpy Pumpkin crystals you're never going to get in these settings.
Yeah, they're really slow. Gonna see Flash get bombed soon.
Yeah. In older settings, I would... My first time to Lumpy Pumpkin, just grab those crystals. Yeah, Flash nodding. He's quite happy about that. Because I think he knows that is... Well, he doesn't know what that's going to give him, but I think in his shoes, you kind of can guess that bomb bag is opening up LMF in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this really is, at this point, like, Mirage is going to have to go to the top of the Great Tree and get those claw shots soon.
Yeah. This seed's actually been, like, despite being totally, like, really terrible and having a bunch of really annoying stuff, it's been very interesting to see both runners take completely different routes because they got bottlenecked by different things. Mirage is getting bottlenecked by not finding claw shots, and Flash was getting bottlenecked for most of the seed by not finding the digging mitts on Betrothed.
Yeah,
so,
like, this is, as
like
far as Remlits seeds go, this is one of the more bottlenecked one, and yet there were kind of 2 bottlenecks that opened up different paths that eventually you had to hit one or the other, but it was not like a straight line. They kind of opened up alternative things they could do. Yeah, and this is... Mirage is getting these gratitude crystals here on the Waterfall Cave. They are significantly easier with Quick Beetle and Tough Beetle, but you can get them with the regular Beetle. You just have to be kind of precise with where you stand, because the range is... Yeah, the range is a little... You hit... I want to say it's the vertical death plane, but it's also just the time.
I think it's just the time it takes because it takes so long. The vertical death plane is, as far as I'm aware, only applies above where you start flying.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but
yeah. So we're gonna see Flash. He's gonna check the chest by the party wheel, check Fire Node, check Lightning Node. He is gonna get his Hook Beetle
and Quick Beetle, probably.
Yes.
If not, he'll find it in LMF.
And there is 50 crystals from Mirage. Yeah, I think we'll see Flash do a lot of Lineru. Try and full clear the whole of Lineru region. And you're also seeing Flash take advantage of something, which is, for whatever reason, bombs roll really, really far on sand. I don't know why, because this doesn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I used to think that was because of the sand. Like some sands have sand currents, but this part of what was I saying? Oh yeah, the front section of Fire Node doesn't have any sand current, and the one in the back half is actually flowing the wrong way.
Oh, okay. The Mogomits were on this chest by the party wheel, the bomb lock check. So Flash is going back for it now.
Yeah, we'll see Flash pick them up very soon.
Yeah. Sadly, Dodo's crystals, Dodo's party wheel are not in these settings.
Mirage heading to Laneru, but hasn't headed back to grab the claw shots yet. So I'm not sure what checks are actually available here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Maybe
through
he's
that.
checking for mispings.
Yeah, I'm really worried. I'm really worried for Mirage that he has hit what he thinks is 0 locations, which is a thing, unfortunately, that can happen if you miss ping or if you don't know what you're logically able to do. I think he's just double checking LMF to make sure he didn't miss anything. Although you need to go into the hub room to douse the rest of the dungeon.
We know that he didn't miss anything though.
Yes,
so
he definitely got
if anything, this is saving time. Flash
every
picking up the Mogomits.
Yeah, every check in LMF is a chest, except for the boss completion. So you'd have to miss douse to miss something in LMF. But yeah, I think he is maybe hitting 0 locations.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we are at 2 hours. Mirage is asking. I want to thank our trackers, Tomoltalk and Baseball. You can also follow our runners, and thank you, Mario. I don't know if Mirage. So this is something that's been implemented for the tournament. The runners can ask to have breaks at 2 hours, but it's something they have to. If one runner asks for it, you need to enable it at the beginning.
On the, if you want to set up breaks, you're supposed to set them up using the race time bot beforehand, which hasn't happened. But it seems that Flash in the race time room has agreed to the break, though I'm not sure.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's a thing that we've done because Skyward Sword is maybe a little more physically demanding than some other games. Since I'm asking the runners what they want just to try and figure out, because there's a bot that will do this.
Yeah, it seems they're both taking a break. They're both waiting on their respective map screens.
Yeah, I'm in the race time room. I'm just trying to clarify what they were asking for. This is a little. I don't know exactly what they're doing. So I apologize. I'm trying to figure this out.
I think they both stopped around 201.40. If I remember right.
Sorry, I am in the race time room. You can probably hear me typing away. I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do and how to fairly deal with this. But I think they're going to start back up. Oh yeah, I guess I don't have to ping the staff because you are here and you're one of the staff members.
I think they both braked at about the same time, so it's fine.
Yeah, it was. I would say Mirage maybe caused like 5 to 10 seconds later.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just.
So I was saying this: the brakes were a thing that have been implemented recently. That, yeah, the staff and the community have discussed, because Skyward Sword, you are kind of waving. You're doing a lot of physical motion in this game, I think, in a way that you don't in other Zelda randomizers. And so it can be a little more tiring, and it's a quality of life thing. I know for me, it's nice to just be able to stand up and like grab more water. It's kind of similar to how Ocarina of Time, the random settings league, the really long settings have breaks. But also, I mean, even in like non-restream settings, you'll see runners agreement to take a 5-minute break at some point. Because you can have races in certain randomizers that go 3-4 hours. It's a long time to sit. This is me speaking as a 30-something. Baseball, to answer your question, there are 2 slingshot upgrades. So you have the regular slingshot and the mighty scatter shot. There is not a mod at this point to use a controller. People have come up with ways to map controllers, like Xbox controllers, on Dolphin. It's not very effective or efficient. And there's really nothing quite like even the HD version controls. It's something that I would say some of the developers and such have looked into, and there are people looking into maybe figuring out like the Wii Classic controller, how to get support for that. But again, that would still require a Wiimote.
All right.
So
and in just a few seconds, I think we should be seeing our runners resume.
Yeah.
All right, and we're right back into it. So Mirage heading for Faron, grabbing the Lake Floria rupee, and hopefully going to the Great Treat.
Yeah, Flash,
really
meanwhile,
Flash
will
heading
clear LMF.
Yeah, heading into LMF, not grabbing the Quick Beetle from Lightning Node, but
yeah,
we'll
and that's going to be. There's nothing else in. There's nothing else in Lightning Node, right? It was just that beetle.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No, wait. Actually, there may have been a bottle, but
okay, nothing required.
Nothing hard required, if I'm remembering.
Because that's one of those checks that going back for it after LMF. So when you finish LMF, you are dumped out at the Temple of Time entrance, which is so isolated that you will 10 times out of 10 warp out in some way. This is the only dungeon that exits you somewhere different than the entrance.
because
Yeah, Mirage is now.
heading back into the sealed temple, but he doesn't have harp, so all he has
Yeah,
to check is that chest again.
yeah. I think he may not. I don't know if he has fully tracked everything, and so may not know. Just may not know about that top of the great tree, or just really waiting till the end. And I don't know which. Um, yeah, and Flash. So you can actually just run past these guys pretty easily. So yeah, Mirage has to go to the top of the great tree to get his claw shots to progress further. Flash at this point has every item he needs except for harp to get every check. It's just a matter, and I know he has magma mitts too.
And technically True Master Sword to get Zelda's blessing, but I don't think.
Which hinted dead.
Oh yeah, that hinted dead anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah, I think Mirage knows. So I think he is going back for this. Yep.
All right, this is. Yeah, this is what we want to see.
Yeah. So we will see Mirage as soon as he does this head to Sansi. I think. I have to imagine he's going to head to Caves, check Gorge, and then go to Sansi.
He doesn't have something to note is that he doesn't have Cave's key, so he may go to Bokoblin base looking for it.
Oh, right, because Caves Key were on.
It was in
Gorge
the
pillar.
gorge, yeah, right next to Thunder Dragon.
That is a fair point. Yeah, and this is the Triforce that was hinted in this room, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the hinted Triforce is in this chest.
Flash is gonna.
Centro is really annoying enemies because in theory you can kind of ignore them, but you have to be very fast, otherwise they spawn these annoying mines that you have to waste time dealing with.
I did not hear half what you said because you backed away from your mic. But you said something about the Centrobes being annoying, which is accurate. They are awful.
Yeah. If you go fast enough, you can theoretically like just kind of ignore them. But if you you have to be really fast, otherwise they start spawning those little mines, and you can't really ignore it because they will blow you up.
Who's winning?
It's kind of hard to say.
I think it's pretty close right now.
I think Flash has a slight lead at this point.
Yeah, I would say Flash is maybe slightly ahead because he doesn't have as many items he needs to find to finish off the seed. Yeah, but he is going to have some significant backtracking.
Yeah, it depends on if like Skipper's Retreat and Pirate's Stronghold, the checks that he wasn't able to get there, if those have important items for go mode, that could be that could put Mirage in the lead.
You know, I realized I forgot to manage this bet. I forget. I think Mirage finished LMF before Flash finished Sansi?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna close this prediction. I don't think I'm gonna open a bet for the final sword or final Triforce, just because there's not a lot of checks. But maybe I should open one, a quick 1 minute for one of them. I'm going to open this for like a minute or two. Really, basically, it's going to depend on when Mirage heads to someplace where we're going to see checks we haven't seen, which will probably be Sansi. At this point, though, really it's Bokoblin base, and some of the checks in Sansi are about all we haven't seen, as well as Gorko's Goddess Wall and the gift from Impa. But those can't have our harp.
Yeah. It would be really mean if Last Sword was on one of the 2 checks in Sealed Grounds.
Yeah. I do think something is maybe going to be on Bat 50.
And there we go, Mirage finding the claw shots.
Yeah, and
on the top of the Great Tree.
This is just kind of a thing you it's a thing you always want to avoid. But I think we did see, you're right, we did see Bat 50.
It wasn't anything useful. Yeah. If
I forgot.
If
totally
Mirage
forgot.
did whatever happens to cause him to not get the Great Tree for a while, he probably won't will remember this.
Yeah, it's one of those where
to head here in the future.
It's not common, but because you have it happen one time, if you get the bellows and scale early, you will rush the Great Tree every time, assuming that it could have bellows. Because it's such a gross thing to last location. Like it's a hard chess.
No, for sure.
Our last sword or last Triforce could be. So our harp can't be on Colin, the Colin's letter check. We can have a sword or a Triforce there. There's Skipper's Retreat. There are those 2 rupee checks on Pirate Stronghold.
And Bokoblin base.
And Song from Impa and Gorko.
Yeah, so there's 3 checks locked behind Harp and then a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. But we are, I think, Mirage, again, does not have many checks left. So he is going to go to Gorge and get Cave's Key soon. He's probably going to check the Bird's Nest here, which will be his second to last check on Skyloft.
Yeah.
So Flash is going to have to get this chest. One thing, he may not know this. If you don't use your bellows and blow all that dust up, where that switch is, you can actually just backflip over the spikes on both sides and skip having to run around.
Yeah, we saw Mirage do that a while back when he was in LMF.
Yeah. It's not like a massive time save, right? It's, it doesn't take that much time to run around. It's 10 seconds at most.
Oh, are those pots guaranteed hard drops?
They are.
Oh, neat. I didn't know that.
I think because they're red, they're guaranteed hard drops.
I'm not sure if that's how they work, but okay.
Anytime I smash a red,
because I know there's some red pots in Fire Sanctuary that drop arrows.
Yeah.
At least in the first room, there's one that drops arrows.
Yeah, we did not comment on this, but Mirage did get Tim the Tumbleweed, so we have a double valid steed. Yeah, and I think Flash. So Flash is, I think, the newest and least experienced runner in the tournament. We're not seeing him go for the minecart jump.
I don't blame him. It's annoying.
If you haven't practiced it, even if you have practiced it, it's annoying. If you haven't, it's not a trick you want to try for the first time in a race.
If somebody knows a setup to do minecart jump like first try every time, please let me know. I would love.
Like I said, it took me 15, 20 tries. Mind you, it is relatively not punishing. But really good runners know how to do the bomb strat. That is not a strat I try at all. And so this is, LMF has a lot of auto scroll sections. It's why people have tried to find ways to skip a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because these minecarts are slow. But unfortunately, Flash is going to have to get the boss key chest because, as we know, that chest has our small key.
Yeah. Mirage starting to clear Bokoblin base. So
yeah, did he forget to refill on arrows?
I'm not sure.
So there are,
no arrows.
This is our lovely developer who developed this feature, Esme. When she developed it originally, there's no place to refill arrows, and then someone mentioned that there are 2 pots when you load in to Boko base in that room that have bows and that have arrows and bombs, and then 2 pots by the first safe statue that have more arrows and bombs.
Fortunately, he does have slingshot seeds, so he shouldn't need the arrows for anything.
Yeah. But if he doesn't have bombs, that is especially annoying.
Oh yeah, that would be a bit of a problem.
And it's knowing that those are there is just something you kind of have to.
This is unfortunate too, because you can get bombs by going over here, but you can't get out without the whip because you're supposed to find the whip here.
Oh no! So he's gonna be.
You're gonna have to
ride,
escape,
or do
p-hat skip. But I suspect that he won't do that.
Yeah, or he might have to ride the whatchamacallit.
Oh wait, he did have bombs. Did this chest ping and I just totally missed it? Maybe it did.
Yeah. I'm trying to because Mirage has not played a lot since the end of season 2, and Bokoblin base is newer than that, and so this is. I'm trying to think of advice for if he's watching this to help for next time.
My advice is don't come to this area if you don't need to, because it has bomb drops. That's the main thing it has. It has bomb flowers, but you can get them with the pots.
Yeah, and there's a way to run up this slope and skip, but there's no jump across here.
Yeah, that's the p-hat skip I was talking about before.
Yeah, Jazzix has a really good guide, but it is still somewhat precise. I'm not going to say it's
guide, actually.
The most it's not the most precise trick. I think he's trying it. No. You have to go to the map menu to change your angle in the right way. It's Pac-Man is saying it's pretty simple, which I think if you're practiced it is, but Mirage has definitely not practiced the trick. But yeah, just knowing where the bow and bomb refills are in Boko base can be really important. In the same way, Flash is going to see this. Knowing that there's bomb refills in some of these barrels is important. But yeah, we are now seeing Mirage. He is gonna finally go into caves and gorge. I think. Yeah, Pac-Man, we already saw one Tentalis blow earlier this seed. Well, several Tentalis blows, but one Tentalis killed with the Gust Bellows. And we did mention that you found this.
Yeah.
Flash.
That is what this tournament's for. So like these strats that we're mentioning,
some of them are advanced. Some of them I think are more simple.
The points to learn more about the game.
Yeah.
And help everyone improve. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying as I commentate to think about.
Hopefully, something useful is being gotten out of this commentary.
Yeah, I know. I watched my first race back and listened to what the commentators had to say, so I'm trying to make sure that I.
Yeah, I did the same.
I also have useful things to say.
So I'm gonna be honest. I mainly did that just to see how the commentators reacted to me doing the fire. Volcano Summit without the fire shield earrings.
Yeah, you're gonna kick my ass in our race.
That'll be fine.
While I'm thinking about this, I forget if this is the right link. That is not the right link. It is here. If you want to check out the full tournament info. The optimal strategy for the room Flash is doing is actually there's a trick where you can set a bomb down and pick it up with the hook beetle, and the bomb can actually blow up around the wall.
Honestly, that's kind of true. The optimal strategy is to ignore this room if you possibly can, because it takes forever.
Yeah,
but
there's a reason that even though this chest can be doused, it is still hinted, and it's because if it's not, it's not an always hint. But if you know you don't have to go here, it's very useful.
Yeah, because even played optimally, I'm pretty sure this room still takes like more than 2 minutes to clear out just for one location, which is like really brutal.
Yeah, so there is a jump you can do here, but yeah, you've gotta move this platform a little, and then I think you have to kind of jump slash. Like I think you can run off the edge.
You can ledge grab.
Oh, okay. You just have to get it far enough.
Yeah. You could jump slash, I think, too, but I think ledge grabbing's easier, and if you jump slash, you can't grab the ledge.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't.
Mirage has picked up the caves key from Gorge. I didn't catch what was on Dig Spot, but I don't think it was useful.
It was a rare treasure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The very common rare treasure item, because it is a junk pool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to pull down any of these if you're Flash, but you probably just want to talk to the statue and leave the dungeon from where Flash is right now.
I think Flash actually would want to take this shortcut here. Yeah.
Oh, because
so
he's
he can
got
pull
it.
the box.
Yes, you're right.
That way he
This
can
is what he's
get back
done.
from the front side of the dungeon faster.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that, but you are totally right. So Mirage will probably clear Sand Ship first and then go back, if I were going to guess. You probably
Let's
clear
go
Sand
the whip
Ship.
to defeat the keys.
Yeah, that's also a tip for everyone. The whip will just wreck Keys in one hit.
And it has crazy range.
Yeah. Including it will hit the electric keys even when they're electrified, and it won't shock you. I believe. That could be wrong.
They only shock you if you hit them with a sword. If you hit them with any other item, they won't zap you.
Yeah.
Even if you hit them with something like even the slingshot works. The Gust Bellows don't kill them, but they stun them. Like, basically every item kind of bullies them, except the Bug Net.
Yeah, and we saw Mirage do the Hook Beetle bomb trick, and we're seeing Flash do this kind of the vanilla way. Picking up any bomb you set down with Hook Beetle takes a very quick B-wheel change, which is something you kind of need to practice a little bit. Like, you have to know where on the B-wheel each item is.
Right. Time to see what the C pillars have in Pirates.
Yeah.
If so these have important go mode items, that could be a really big advantage for Mirage. That's the scatter shot, but it looks like we won't be seeing it picked up, unfortunately.
And
no, there was nothing on the Pirate Stronghold pillars.
Yeah, that is gonna be good for Flash, for sure.
I don't think Mirage finished Boko when he was there, right?
He did not finish Boko base.
So
he warped out.
Yeah.
So there's 5 checks in Boko base we haven't seen, because there was, well, maybe 6. There are 2 pings that can be.
We saw the ping, and then there's 4 in Volcano Summit.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell from the bottom if either of the ones by the by Earth Temple, if it's one or both. So we're looking at 5 or 6 potential items in Boko base. There's still 3 chests in Skipper's
to obtain the Master Sword, getting the only sword Mirage found so far from LMF. So Mirage will be finding a couple more quite soon, since there's a sword right here in Pirate's Fortress.
One in
Fortress is the MM thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this seed, we got the 2 bosses or 2 of the 3, where your sword level does not help at all. Both Tentalis and Moldarok. I mean, Ancient Cistern. Your sword level
takes more damage from upgraded swords. In phase 1, anyway.
Okay.
If you have Master Sword, it makes one cycling his first phase very easy. Because you just spin attack you. When he slams his arms down, you hit him with the whip, and then when you take his arms off, he'll do the throw, and you can spin attack him twice.
Unfortunately, yeah, Flash is trying to bypass this hopping across the boxes, but you actually do have to get to the ladder area where the Gust Bellows, the vanilla Gust Bellows are, to get to the second chest. The Spike Maze does kind of keep you out. Had the right idea, just
Technoblin was being really weird because it was not attacking him like at all.
Ooh.
All right,
Did Mirage die before he got the sword?
he got the sword and then died. He was definitely.
That was okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he meant to do that.
Yeah, I was paying more attention to Flash at that moment.
Yeah, this seed is definitely on the longer side.
Yeah, I would say also. I mean, I would say Mirage also very hard last location his claw shots on top of the great tree, and kind of missed it and went around a few places, double checked some things.
And Flash, I think, almost last location the digging mitts on Patro 30. If not last location, it was pretty close.
Yeah, and there was kind of that double. Not kind of. There was basically a double bottleneck where at some point you're going to be bottlenecked into both of those, but each one kind of opened up something different.
Yeah, it's basically you get to pick which bottleneck to do first, and then you get bottlenecked by the other bottleneck.
Because that is only one ping. So Skydive Chest did not
like
ping.
Skydive is not pinging. It's Cactus Pillar could still be useful though. Since it's a little hard to when the first chest there pings, it can be very difficult to tell whether Cactus Pillar also pings. Because it's kind of like behind it.
Yeah. And dowsing here in Skipper's Retreat. I mean, you know this, I know this from the qualifiers. Can be very wonky. All three, because of where you are, the kind of dowsing zone for all three chests here can overlap. And so you can miss a chest.
Yeah.
I think we both in the same qualifier.
Oh no, the scary cave.
Mispinged the skydive chest. If I remember correctly.
I don't know. I don't remember the qualifiers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I just remember the seeds were very slow.
Yeah, I think it was the one that Trez rolled.
We're gonna see Flash is the first person to complete both of his dungeons. Oh, or not.
Oh, Flash. Did he forget that chest?
Wait, there's the last sword.
Oh.
Mirage just got the last sword from the Skipper's Retreat check.
That means then
he didn't ping Cactus Pillar though, so I'm not sure if it's fire.
Yeah, this may just be Flash not remembering how to get to the boss key. If he has not done a lot of LMF. He just may not remember how to do this. Because there's no reason if he's doused everything, he shouldn't have to go all the way back this way. Unless he forgot the shortcut chest that had something.
Oh, I think he did.
Oh, yeah, that's...
I don't know if I noticed him open it.
Yeah, he may have forgotten to.
Yeah, and if you don't know minecart jump and the platforms on the other side, this is unfortunately the best way to get to it. He did push the box, so you won't have to go through the boss key room. But Mirage finally entering the sand ship.
Yeah.
Only one heart though, so hopefully it doesn't get sniped by an archer. Because they can be...
he very well might. You get there are a lot of archers. They can hit you here.
Or not? He walked past the shortcut chest.
I think he may have just forgotten how to get the
how to open the boss
door.
door, maybe.
Yeah.
If he
'cause-
watches this back, all you need to do is activate the minecart and then open the door.
Yeah, and if the minecart's active by the door,
Yeah, it just needs to get rid of the
Then you
spikes
can
in front of
open
it, and then you can open it right up.
yeah.
Yeah, if you let the minecart move away for too long, the door won't be openable. But if
That
you
might have been it.
but if you wait, if it does get too far, there's a lever right next to it that you can use.
Yeah.
All right, Mirage not getting barely shot in the foot by that guy. The archer on the front-facing mast there can hit you when you don't expect him.
Yeah. And so, yeah, when you get the red claws on Moldorak here, you can either backflip and avoid the hit, or you can actually shield parry him. This one, though, you have to backflip if he hits you, if his tail comes out.
Pretty sure you can, in theory, shield bash that one, but it's weird.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong, but I feel like I've done it.
And I don't know if Flash has practiced Fast Phase 2, because he's not backing Moldorak up into the wall. I would say of the fast boss strats, Moldorak is one of the easier ones.
Yeah, some of them, like Scaldera and Coloctos, are just very complicated. Because there's a bunch of different ways you can do them, and it depends on your sword tier.
Yeah.
Oh no! Raj died of fall damage.
Oh, so he's gonna have to reclimb.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. The reason the tumbleweed has not replaced the bug net is there are settings where the bug net is useful. We're not playing with any of them, but it is a B-wheel item. It can be useful for certain things. The tumbleweed is a full meme. In the same way that
it's very useful.
You can sell it for 20 rupees.
Yeah, exactly. You can sell it for 20 rupees. I mean, technically that does do more than the bug net does, at base. You need to do, catch bugs with the bug net before you can,
pack. Yeah, I was gonna say the Moldorak backing him up into the wall it's a little tricky. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's something you can kind of figure out how to do. The only other really easy fast boss strategy is phase 2 of Coloctos.
Yeah, you just hit him with some Skyward Strikes instead of the big swords, because the big swords do a lot less damage.
Yeah, but a lot of the fast boss strategies are not necessarily intuitive.
Yeah, You can actually hit Koloktos with basically any item. Just don't hit him with the regular sword, because the sword will always do 1 damage against him to encourage you to use the big swords. Flash has sword number 5.
So Flash is going to have to get the sword in Skipper's Retreat. I imagine we're going to see him go to Boko base first.
Yeah.
Because he can full clear it and it's just got more checks. And my guess is Boko base is going to have our harp. I think it kind of has to, actually.
Yeah, if he does use the statue to go right to Sansi, that would be a bit more efficient in terms of like flying across the sky.
Did he grab the stat? He didn't even go to Skipper's Retreat to grab
He
the
didn't.
statue.
I'm not sure if he has Ancient Harbor either.
It's not too far though from Pirate Stronghold, but this is just in general in Skyward Sword. Picking up your warp statues is really useful.
I always forget to do it. Like, Volcano East next to Bokoblin Base, one of the most useful statues to pick up. I pick it up, like, I always forget it.
Yeah. Mirage is at the level 4 sword.
No, he's on 5.
Oh, you're right, he is.
Is he? Wait, no.
Yeah, because he's only missing the sword here in...
Yeah, he's missing the sword in Sandship.
Yeah. I don't think Flash got the boss key chest in Sandship, did he?
Oh wait, that's why I was confused, because when he got the Skipper's Retreat sword, it said you got the Master Sword, but it doesn't visually update the sword until you go through a loading zone, because for whatever reason, if you update the sword immediately, the game will crash on console.
Yeah, no, he's got the Master Sword, the level 5.
Yeah.
Because he's just missing the one here.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. It's just when he picked up the last one, I saw him holding White Sword and was like, oh, okay, he just got the 4th one.
Was that nothing in the boss key chest? Sorry, I looked away.
I think it was a silver rupee.
Yeah. That's another one where dousing it can be slightly trickier. Slightly tricky.
It's just weird because it only will ping when you're inside the captain's cabin. From outside, it doesn't work.
Yeah, the loading zones in Sandship are...
strange.
Yes. I think that's the right way to describe it.
Sandship works in a very weird way that no other dungeon does.
Yeah, so what we're missing for us no mode on stream is Harp and the final Triforce. Flash is going to have to go back to Skipper's Retreat, but I think Flash is solidly ahead right now. Not solidly is maybe wrong. Flash is ahead right now. Oh yeah, the way to grab this P-Hat is actually...
I think you can grab it from this angle if you stand in the right spot. But
yeah. A lot of the time, what you will do is fall off, and then you can grab it from below, where Flash fell down.
It really, whether Flash is ahead or not really just depends on how long he delays going back to Sansi. Because if he goes to Sansi and gets the sword from Skipper's Retreat quickly, he's probably in the lead.
Yeah.
Also, this whip location is, in theory, it's convenient because you grab it mid-Sandship and then you can do all of Sandship. But when you want to get the whip before going into Sandship, it's not the best thing to have.
Yes. Yeah, I am expecting. I mean, there still also could be junk gratitude crystals that we know have nothing, but there. That looks like the worst chest up here as well. The one on the you have to ride the lava river.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a cycle-based one. You have to wait for a platform to take a ride. Thankfully,
Unfortunately, these
it's right
p-hats only take you above the lava and not all the way to the other platforms down there.
Yeah, you have to be careful on this platform. If you're too far forward, when it hits the bottom here, you can get hit by lava. Yeah, Flash is gonna jump
Flash
and then
speedrunning.
yeah.
I hope he notices.
Notices what?
I think he switched to rupee dowsing.
Oh. Oh no, gratitude crystals.
So hopefully he notices that and doesn't think chests are empty when they aren't.
Yeah, that can be bad as well.
Also, we found the other slingshot. It's
But-
in Sandsea Pirates, but it just wasn't picked up.
Yeah, it's on top of one of the pillars. Flash does not see that he's on rupee dowsing. Oh no.
That chest didn't have anything, but if he douses like that in Volcano Summit, it might be an issue.
I am getting really worried for him right now. Because I think at least 2 of these checks have to have something. If I'm doing the math, it might actually be 3 or all 3. Or 3 of the 4. But I can't math right. I really hope he notices.
Wait, there's rupees in this room.
Okay, he's going to figure out that was not the right dowsing. Or he's just going to get everything.
Okay, maybe the rupee dowsing is actually just gonna have him check all the stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, but you have to get to the fire dragon this way anyway.
Yeah. To get to that chest, you actually need to go across this lava river over on that side.
Yeah, he may not realize that. There is technically a way with the hook beetle, I think, to just
you can break that boulder with the hook beetle.
I don't know if he's fast enough.
It's pretty tight on timing.
Yeah, if I were him, I would just go to the fire dragon. But I'm also really hoping he catches that rupee dowsing is on. I'm pretty sure that chest has to have something. But yeah, if you haven't... Oh.
This is actually really clever.
I have not even... This is not a thing I ever would have thought about.
Wait, I've never thought about this either. This is really smart. I honestly forgot there were bomb flowers there.
I had no idea there were bomb flowers there. I am learning something new today.
That's very cool.
It
Usually
might not
you
all
want
be
to check
for
Fire
rubies.
Dragon anyway, but
He's just gonna have to run. You don't have to kill these enemies. Bokos are slow. You can generally just run past them and they won't attack you. I really hope Flash goes and checks the Fire Dragon's reward. I also hope he realizes that the pinging was nothing, but Fire Dragon's reward has to have something. He sees something is up. All right, Flash.
he's definitely noticed something's wrong, but
He might not
if
know
he doesn't
what.
know how like rupee dowsing exists, he might not know what's wrong.
Yeah, and it's like you're gonna sit here and think, oh, it's obvious. It's showing the rupee symbol.
Yeah,
It's so easy to just not catch that. Like,
yeah. That's why I personally I don't use white sword dowsing, because even though I know like that it's like you can just get stuck on the other options, I'm just always worried I'll forget to switch back.
yeah, I mean, and this was not that. This was inadvertent.
Yeah, it's very
But
easy
he still has to check
to miss.
these two things at the top of Summit, and he is also not going to get punished by dowsing because the chest doesn't have anything. In fact, neither check has anything. But at Skipper's Retreat, if he's on the wrong dowsing option, he could be in trouble.
Yeah.
But
Rupee dowsing is especially like if you don't like if he doesn't know that rupee dowsing exists, I wouldn't blame him for not
where
noticing it.
Okay.
It's very easy to miss.
Where the hell could our heart be at this point?
I think I'm starting to think it's Cactus Pillar, because I didn't see Mirage ping towards Cactus Pillar after getting the sword from Skipper's Retreat.
Oh
and
no.
If that's the case, it would be really and that's like the only thing I can think of that we haven't seen.
I think you're right. There's also a small chance that Skydive Chest could have something.
I don't think Skydive Chest named, though.
When all three chests have something, you sometimes get weird dowsing properties there. That's the only reason I say that.
Yeah, I suppose that's a possibility.
Yeah, he
also,
didn't.
Yeah, you can't grab that ledge for some reason on Flash's side. It's just too close to the lava, so the platform needs to be close enough.
Yeah, and the platform has to be.
You have to spawn it at the right spot, yeah.
He still is not seeing.
Alright, Mirage, the first player to collect all 6 swords.
Yeah, we are.
Really all 4 of them.
I think at this point, the Triforce has to be heart blocked.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Harp on Cactus Pillar, and then Triforce is on one of the 3 heart blocked checks.
Also, Thunderhead, 4th reward. We have not seen.
Ooh, that's true, actually.
The white sword item in Thunderhead. I mean, there's not a chest here in Summit, so he's not going to get a chest. But yeah, rupee dowsing does not do you much good here.
Yeah, these frogs are until Scrapper decides to bring his water basin to the bottom of the volcano because he's annoying.
So Flash picking up his fairies for Demise here.
Great place to pick them up because there's a bunch.
Very smart. I had a seed where this is my final location. I grabbed a fairy and then slept to refill after I fire warped slept to replenish my health. And my chat was like, you just grabbed a fairy, you don't need to heal. I really hope Flash figures out his dowsing is off.
Summit Waterfall chest doesn't have anything.
Yeah, the only Skyloft chest that's left is Colin's Leather. And Betro 50 for
Well,
Flash.
Flash hasn't seen it yet, so that's probably what he's going to.
Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense. He still has to get... I think Flash only got one of the Thunderhead checks. I think he didn't even have Longsword when he went. So I think he might have 2 Thunderhead checks, so we'll see those. Man, if that's the Harp, and Harp is on one of the... or in the last Triforce is on one of the Harp block checks. Oh, except Flash still needs... Oh...
Still needs the Skipper's
The last sword, yeah. This is, I think, going to be close, and it's going to come down to
Yeah, this is going to be a just very, very close race at this point. Because it all really depends on just if Flash delays going to Skippers, and if Skippers has the Harp or the last Triforce, and Mirage didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting worried for both of our runners, probably more so for Flash, just because of the dowsing. Yeah, and the dowsing thing in Skipper's Retreat is really like either you've seen someone on Restream do it and you've heard about it, or you've made the mistake yourself. Like it is really one of those things you don't learn from until you have seen the mistake, I think. Because it's just it's a difficult thing to like pick up on. Oh. See Mirage's Tenless fight, but I am more interested in the final Thunderhead item.
Yep. Golden, do you think this seed is worse than ASIC 2?
No.
Really? ASIC 2 must have been really terrible. I didn't play it, but I know it was rough.
Yeah.
The Goddess Harp!
All right. So
last Thunderhead chest. So that's
we're gonna see
one of the 2 items we haven't seen yet.
Unfortunately, nobody won the bet. I think we all forgot about that check. I know when we were talking about the bet, we did. Yeah, Flash is probably going to go to Sealed Grounds next.
Yeah, that does. I think you're right, Froppy. That does help Mirage more than Flash.
Yeah, because
he'll be
Boko
more
Base
likely to go there with all of his new swords.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mirage might still go Boko Base first.
Oh, true.
Because it's got just check density.
Also, if you're not using charged bow shots to take out the tentacles, having True Master Sword for tentacles is really nice because you get the instantaneous Skyward charge.
Yeah. The third Triforce piece is, I'm not going to say has to be, but I would say it is very likely one of the 3 Heart Block checks. Whether it is Colin's letter, which we're about to see, or one of the 2 checks on Sealed Grounds.
Gratitude crystals.
Yeah, so there's one more Gratitude crystal pack maybe that we haven't seen.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's something I
haven't seen
haven't
that in
seen
a while.
yeah.
Flash is going down to skippers. Oh
That's
god, I
that's
am.
cool to see.
It is, but I am getting so much more nervous.
Oh, he did check Ancient Harbor. That's nice.
Yeah. So Mirage doing the jump in the water does know it. This is a pretty tight. Yeah.
You do
The
have to
timing
kind
of
of
the jump has to be
delay
really
a bit.
precise.
You kind of have to delay a bit before you jump off because otherwise
It's
the hair starts its timer when you're getting up, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, it's one of those kind of like stupid precise tricks that
it's just like weird if you don't know how it works. If you know how it works, it's not too terrible, but
yeah. Please figure out you're on the wrong dowsing Flash. That he has to. There's nothing you can douse there.
hopefully hopefully if even if he doesn't realize that, it'll have him go and do the
Yeah,
other check.
but if he skips the one with the sword, if he thinks that's the cactus pillar and not the one with the sword,
Yeah.
that could be unfortunate. Oh, his bomb hit the chew there. Yeah, so the sword is on the chest after Moblin. We think there's possibly something on the other.
Clearing that cave very well with a well-timed spin attack.
I'm really bad at that cave.
Yeah.
I
if
just
you
kind of
roll-
accept that I'm going to take the damage, and
yeah, if you roll in like a specific way, you can just kind of move through the chews before they fall on your head, but you have to be fast.
please.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. He's going past it. That's the sword right there.
Oh no.
Did Mirage just ping the cactus pillar? I
I
didn't
think
catch.
he did, and I think it had nothing.
Okay, so that means the last Triforce piece is, I think, has to be in sealed grounds.
Yeah, it's
And
either on
considering
Impa
Flash
or
is not
Gorko.
grabbing the sword,
Yeah, Mirage is going to
Mirage
go to
is
your
probably
head.
going to pull ahead here and win.
Flash, please. Please, Flash. This is. I feel bad because I feel like this has been just kind of an unfortunate.
Yeah, that maybe he might be
seed.
thinking that's just the shack chest pinging.
Yeah, that
I
chest.
know it doesn't ping from the outside.
So the reason that isn't always hit is it requires one item that you don't need for the rest of this, and you can't douse it until you enter the shack.
The fact that you can't douse it is the main reason, because it would mean you have to climb Skipper's Retreat every single time. Mirage getting the harp.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna go to Boko base first.
Yeah. It's possible. Boko base, to me, would be, if I were in Mirage's position, I think I would go to Boko base, because, he saw that Boko base has at least one pinging chest, that he didn't pick up. So,
Yeah.
with so few items left, I would want to chase that.
Yeah, it turns out that's the only useful item. Is that... You know, I didn't even know you could climb to the top of this. I hope when he sees it's a rupee, like he's gonna see it's a rupee.
Oh yeah, there's a little rupee in the top of that thing.
I assume you have to like send the beetle vertically down through.
Yeah, I think so. I actually don't exactly remember how you get it.
It's
I
not
just
one of the
remember there's
ones.
something inside there.
It's not one of the ones with a permanent scene flag, so it's...
No, it's not.
There's no rupees inside of here.
There, I'm pretty sure there's some under the sand. But
Oh,
yeah,
please figure out, Flash, that that's... All right, Mirage is gonna get... He is going to Sealed Grounds first.
yeah, and he's probably about to find the last Triforce piece and finish the game.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Flash opens his dowsing wheel and notices that it's dowsing towards those greens.
Yeah, I just feel really bad because this is something that can happen, and you just may not pick up on it.
Wait, there's rupees in the ceiling? Okay, I didn't know that.
He figured it out.
He figured it out! He
Oh,
switched back!
this is going to be so tragic, though. Because it's going to be too late.
And there's the last Triforce piece.
Yeah, and that is go mode for Mirage. And I feel for Flash because this was really close. And he almost had this one.
Yeah. I think even if he had picked this up, he might have been just... well, I don't know, actually.
I don't know how
If
confident
he didn't get
he is with
debated
his...
up into Shack, he might have gone to Faron first, actually.
Yeah, I also don't know how comfortable
It's really
he
hard to
is
say.
with Girahim 3 and Demise. And if you're not comfortable with those fights, like it's possible that you lose on those, which is, I think, though, like this is a kind of unfortunate seed for both runners, right? Like we saw Mirage last location, those claw shots, basically just avoiding completely.
Let's hope he goes to...
I think he's going back to Boko base, I think.
Yeah, he might not be sure when he switched on the rupee dowsing.
Yeah, I think he doesn't know and he's backtracking.
Honestly, yeah, that's a good idea. You should
I-
drop that in suggestions.
Yeah, I don't...
Though people might just ignore that.
I think people also will just get annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Because if it comes up anytime you're not on chest dowsing, it could become excessive. Yeah, but
Yeah, this is the smart play for Flash to make, to go back and double check that he didn't miss anything. Even though I think he did grab every chest in Volcano Summit. But
yeah,
he did switch. on.
He did grab all 4 chests in Summit, so yeah, I've not been paying attention to Mirage's G3, his phase 2, which I would say is the hardest phase of the 3. Phase 1 is relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
Phase 2 is well.
If you want to do the purple hand skips on phase 1, it can be a little tricky because you have to kind of manipulate him to attack just before he's supposed to activate his little like purple energy hand thingies.
Yeah.
But
the hardest part on phase 2,
which isn't that much, it doesn't save that much time. So
yeah, the hardest part with phase 3, which we kind of saw from Mirage, is if you're a little impatient and you slash too early and he turns his sword, you can lose a cycle there. Huh. I thought he got the stun lock.
One of them got bounced off Demise's sword.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why it got Demise like blocked it though. It should have hit, but either way, a clean stun lock from there.
Yeah, and using the shield and then getting him back in the stun
Flash is
lock.
backtracking to Pyro. Oh, that's because he didn't get the C pillars. Probably he's just double checking those.
100%, yes.
I was worried for a moment he was going to go inside Pirates. Mirage grabbing the backup lightning, because if you miss the first cycle in phase 2, there's some more lightning conveniently after.
Misses.
Oh, but a little too slow on the fatal blow.
Yeah. And this can be rough because if Demise gets lightning, he can kind of body you.
Yeah, you just kind of have to wait for lightning when Demise is charged up. It's very difficult to actually...
I hope he doesn't die. No. I don't think he got a fairy.
Oh, no. That's quite unfortunate.
Yeah. Second phase of Demise is incredibly punishing if you make even a little mistake.
Wait, where's Flash going now? Oh, is he going to LMF again?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he never went in there. That's a good point. Yeah. I just keep worrying every time he doesn't go to sealed grounds that he's getting messed up by rupee dozing.
Yeah, he had never been to Lightning Node.
Yeah, and all of these plays make sense from him because you don't want to go to sealed grounds if it's not really your last option. Because it is pretty slow to have to go in there if you're not going to end game.
And that is GG for Mirage. It's 3:17 on the dot. I think he's going to come in for an interview.
Huge GG's for finishing the seed after so long.
We'll probably keep the interview relatively short. But we will also kind of watch as Flash finishes this up. Mirage is going to come in for an interview yeah, this was his comment was GG, but at what cost? Which is fair. This is a rough seed. Um,
Flash getting the tough beetle.
and I just brought Mirage in. GG's Mirage.
GG's.
GG. As I said, but on what cost? Man, this
Yeah.
seed was a nightmare.
Yes,
Yeah,
there were two big bottlenecks. You
Yeah,
found the digging mitt
I
first.
think the close shot was the worst thing. The close shot on the top of the tree.
Yeah.
I literally did a tutorial of all checks of Skyward Sword in this seed. If anyone wants to start Skyward Sword, just watch this seed and we do everything. Everything.
Yeah, it so you got the digging mitts on Patrol around when Flash got the claw shots. And then he was searching for the digging mitts for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
those were both big why am I blanking on the word?
Bottlenecks.
Bottlenecks, yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
there was 3 swords behind the close shots and the Lanairo Cave key right behind the close shot too.
Yeah. Just in general, the seed was like really weird because
Yeah.
like it was both it was really bad. Let me preface that by saying that, but it was also like interesting because unlike most seeds where there's like a bunch of bottlenecks and it's really annoying, it wasn't as linear because it kind of branched out where you could either get claw shots and chase that for a long time, or you could get digging mitts and chase that for a long time.
Yeah.
And each one gave you a lot of checks that the other didn't.
And the thing is that we got things that unlocked many checks and there was thing to do. So we're going after it. So there was many checks behind the close shots and the digging meats. That's totally fine
Yeah.
seeing that.
Also, the
Yeah.
last Triforce being on sealed grounds is pretty cruel because, like, you don't want to go there unless you have no other option without all of your end game items.
Sorry, didn't hear well.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, the sealed grounds Triforce was a little rough because if it's
Yeah,
like it's annoying to check
actually,
there.
I narrowed my options because the item that is on the top of volcano on Bokoblin base probably the bow. The third bow.
I believe that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Or
crystal.
it was
Because
gratitude crystals.
Yeah.
or gratitude crystals or a bow. Yes.
I
Because
think there were both.
I had only when I got the ARP, I was okay. I can do the phantom, the ghost crystals. Then I go to sealed grounds. If that's not the Triforce, I'm going to do arrow in repose because everything's unlocks by the ARP.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I would go to Bokoblin base, but I really didn't think that was an item. The Triforce in this case.
Yeah, and we're seeing Flash get Gorko right now.
Yeah.
He'll get this
Oh, but he
Triforce.
didn't talk to Gorko first. You have to talk to him before you activate the wall.
Oh. He'll maybe go get the Impa song first, though.
Yeah.
Well, he will
No,
get.
no, he's
Oh.
going to save and quit, I think.
Yeah, this is a very close race until Flash switched his dowsing to rupees and didn't realize it. And he went into Skipper's retreat and went past the sword.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have any other questions for you or anything else to ask Mirage, but congrats on the win. I'm
Thanks.
sure you are very tired. This was a long
Yeah,
seed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks you guys for the stream. Thanks for the commentaries and everything.
Yeah.
I'll try to bring to the Brazilian history as many races I can. But actually, right now I'm going to try to get some VOD races to history for the rest of the group that we didn't history there.
Yeah, and for those of you who are watching, your channel, what is it? Randomizer Brazil?
Yes, the Brazilian streamer, the actually official streamer of all races we can do is Randomizer Brazil.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna have we've had a lot of French restreams, which you can find on the SSR Discord, and then as Mirage is saying, he's going to try and do some Portuguese restreams on the Randomizer Brazil. Yeah, and Flash just got his last Triforce, so we're seeing him enter Garium 3. Yeah, I think that's all I had to ask you, Mirage.
Yeah. I tried to do a little joke on the name of Flash for the music from Queen. On the name file.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. I did not totally understand what the
Yeah, it was the Queen music for Flash.
Okay. That makes sense.
Something I just noticed. This hash had Remlit in it. I think it's lying.
Yeah.
This is a fake Remlit seed.
I think we'll try and keep the stream up. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to, Mirage, but I think we'll wait until Flash finishes up here on stream, try and interview him.
Hey guys. Thanks again.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Good night.
You too. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, we see Mirage, or not Mirage, Flash. He's got what, 3 fairies?
Yeah, you should have.
I think he has practiced.
Plenty of health.
Yeah, and I think he's practiced this fight a little bit.
Actually, he may only have 2 fairies. I saw him pick up 2 in Summit before he walked away. I don't know if he got.
Should be enough if he's practiced this. Also,
Yeah.
if you take it slowly, usually works out. Like, why am I getting pinged on Discord? Yeah, but definitely want to give Flash the opportunity to interview if he's finishing up because he's so close. I think he's kind of taking this this is, I would say, if you're a beginner, actually a pretty smart way to do this fight.
Yeah. Shield bashing is like best way to to stun him easily.
Yeah, and it's what, 8 hits?
It's 7. I'm
That's
actually
right.
surprised that Girahim is jumping away so much. Like, normally he waits until you hit him for the 3rd time before he jumps back, but he was doing it very quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what was up with that.
Yeah, and then phase 3 of Girahim is really just a test of your patience, I would say.
Yeah. And also, spin attacking can help so you don't accidentally slash diagonally.
Yes. Although diagonal, if you slash diagonally like we saw, it does not reset necessarily.
Yeah, it's just also not like, it doesn't really help unless you slash in the same diagonal direction a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But
and if he watches this back, so you only actually have to break the sword one way if you slash it. So I was noticing he was breaking it on both sides. You don't have to break the sword all the way through.
Honestly, that may just be because like he had put the vulnerability point down, and maybe it's just me, but I find like down to up slashes like very annoying. They're the most annoying slash to do.
Yeah, and you got the stun lock there.
Yep, and
this is
successfully chaining it with the shield bash.
Yeah, and this is again, your shield is like one of your best weapons against demise.
Yeah, that was really good.
Because anytime he tries to hit you, if you use the shield, it'll open up demise for at least a spin attack. That was better than many demises I've had.
Ooh, cleanly.
I have not seen that before. Oh, that's unfortunate though.
Demise stole his lightning, but he got some, so it's alright.
Yeah.
Dodging the dash, nice. Needs probably one more set of lightning to take down the 2nd phase. Or cycle.
Yeah. While he's finishing, well, let's see.
And this should be it.
Yeah, and that is
GG's.
The official time of 3:31.
That's actually crazy. Both runners finished at exactly a minute mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if he wants to come in for an interview. But while we're waiting, I want to again shout out and thank our trackers, Baseball and Tomaltalk. Shout out our runners, and thank you, Mario. This was quite a marathon seed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but we made it through, and both runners finished, which is, like, just really good.
Yeah, I think you'll see in a lot of races, people will tend to not finish.
Yeah, if their opponent finishes, oftentimes the other player will just forfeit. But we saw both runners finish this really rough seed, so props to both.
GG's Flash.
GG's.
That was quite the marathon.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, it was a rough one for sure. I think so. It was a rough one because you had two kind of big bottlenecks.
Yeah,
The claw shots and the mitts.
I think there were 3 points I was at in the seed where I had less than 5 checks to be able to do.
That sounds about right, yeah. There were, I think, 2 really hard bottlenecks, and then just at the end, I think, finding where the harp was, there was not a lot for both you and Mirage.
Yeah, that final Triforce piece, I thought about going there earlier, but I was like, what are the odds it's going to be one of those 2 checks compared to the 17 others that I can do? And then all the lightning node bait. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate.
Well, and I realized at some point, I can't remember where I was, maybe Gorge, I don't know. I realized that my dowsing had gotten swapped to something else at some point during the Goblin base. So I wasn't sure, like, how many checks I had accidentally doused as dead that were on the wrong dowsing.
Yeah, I think you turned it on just before getting the chest by the big Bokoblin tower with all the pea hats and the lava river. I don't know what that check's called.
Okay.
But it was right about there. And you noticed during Skippers, which was the next point where it was really relevant. So fortunately you didn't leave without grabbing the sword there.
It explains my confusion at the top of like the Goblin base when something was pinging, and I'm like, I've checked every chest.
Yeah. It was definitely very rough. We're watching and we're just hoping like maybe he's going to notice now, maybe he's going to notice now. It's unfortunate, I think, that it happened in a race because it's one of those things. Once you do it once, you'll pay attention and you'll see the rupee symbol, but it takes doing it the first time.
Oh, does it show somewhere on the screen? I didn't even notice.
When you have dowsing activated, in the bottom left corner, it'll show the icon of what you're dowsing for. So if you're dowsing for a chest, it'll either be a closed chest or actually, because we always have the C chart, it'll be an open chest with the sand ships icon inside of it.
Okay. The only reason I noticed was because at the top of Skippers, it was dowsing something. I'm like, there's no chest up there. What am I dowsing? Oh no. It felt so bad.
Yeah. Good thing is at least now you'll know for next time, so.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed in time to go back for I think it was a sword there by the Moblin.
Yeah.
I mean, this is only like 6 minutes-ish lower than my average, so I'm not really all that upset. I feel like I'm getting better. It's just the 2 races I've had so far have had a dungeon that I've only done once, and that was like 3 months ago. A Goblin base, which I had never done until my first race, which it had all 3 Triforce pieces, and then mistakes here too.
Yeah, I mean, being quite close to your average time on a seed that was this long, I'd say is very impressive. So
yeah, and I think, I mean, we talked about this, like, it's very clear, for example, that you've practiced Girahim and Demise. Like, those were pretty clean fights. Definitely better than I was doing when I had played as many seeds as you have.
Yeah, I think I'm at a total of like 13 to 20 somewhere-ish total seeds.
That is many fewer than I had done before I learned how to do Demise. So
I have to thank some fellow scrubs for helping me learn that. The very first time I played a seed, they were in chat teaching me how to do things, and it may have taken like 8 hours, but I think my second ever seed was down at like 4. So it was drastic improvement very quickly.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of the point of the tournament, right? Is
Yep.
people who are new. I mean, you're one of the Scrubs organizers, you know this.
Yep.
People who are new doing a lot of seeds, practicing and improving over the course of the tournament. So I think that's going to be really fun to watch. Because I know you've played 3 of your 10 matches very early on. I think
Yeah.
they were the first 3 matches in your group. So
I'll
you
let some
may-
other people have some here. I've
Yeah.
got some Zooter League matches to play too.
Oh yeah, that's fair. So, are you also in DK64 Scrubs?
Yes, I am doing loser bracket finals sometime in the next week.
You've got a lot going on, Flash.
Yeah. I don't know how to say no.
That's fair. I'm trying to think if I have any other questions or anything. I don't know, Mario or Flash, if you've got anything else.
Not really.
My only question is, what was chat's reaction to finding Tim?
Very excited.
That's good.
Chat was quite happy about it.
Yeah.
I was like, between the 3 races, I found him twice now, and I had never found him before that.
It's got to be in a undazzable location to find
Yeah.
him. So it's, yeah. No, chat was very happy. Both you and Mirage found him, so we had 2 valid seeds.
I found a Greg at some point too, which made me happy.
Yeah, I think we have more than one green rupee in our item pool, but I can't remember. So the green rupee is not quite as special, but yeah.
I only find one, he'll be special.
I think with that, then we're gonna wrap up the stream. So GG's to Mirage and Flash as well. I already shouted them out, but thanks to our trackers, Baseball and Tomoltach, and thank you, Mario, for commentating with me. With that, what do we have? Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, there's going to be another Remlits tournament race. Tomodachi versus Legend. There's also an MMR race and a Zelda 2 randomizer race tomorrow. So, and a Link to the Past NMG League. So, a lot for Tuesday night, actually. And yeah, OTR Random Setting League Grand Finals is also on Wednesday. But just a lot of things going on ZSR. So stay tuned, and we're going to go raid the Wayfaring Fox, who's doing a MMR seed. Thanks for watching, and have a good night, everyone.